Legends come alive in Glenburn, Maine. It's the Sasquatch Calling Contest and rum tasting at Tossie's Checkout, 1492 Pushaw Road. This Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m., taste the wild with Sasquatch Sawmill Silver Rum and Pomola Golden Rum, courtesy of Arbor Distillery. Meet real Bigfoot hunters Kevin Warner and Keith Staples of the Maine Bigfoot Foundation, and see actual artifacts from Maine's Bigfoot sightings. The Sasquatch Calling Contest kicks off at 4 p.m., and the best call wins $100 cash. Plus, prizes, shirts, koozies, glasses, and more. 1 to 5 p.m., August 30th at Tossie's. Big fun for the whole family.
Nice.
All right, guys. Why is that still showing on my screen?
Bobby Lee! Bobby Lee, we need your help, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, I got the coffee.
All right. There we go. There we go. Well, I already see that we got some people jumping on. And first of all, I'll probably play that again here after a while.
I liked it. That was
maybe. Cool. Yeah. I think the gentleman's name is Pete Henson, and he's the owner of Arbor Distillery up in Maine. And I'm actually curious, once I looked at their website, and he was telling me through an email earlier today about one of the rums. They make three different rums, and one of them is called the Bigfoot Sawmill something Silver. So yeah, I was browsing on their website, and it looked pretty good. So
wait, so they're gonna have a Bigfoot event and whiskey tasting? Is that's what I'm made to believe?
I believe that's correct.
Dude, I haven't had a drink since 1997. I would love to sit back in a corner and enjoy that.
I don't think you're drinking his stuff. I'll drink his side.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Seriously, that'd be interesting. I see a lot of people. Can I say hi to some people?
Yeah, please, because I see we got people jumping on the live chat. So yeah, go ahead and get some shout outs.
Brian Terrell from Red Dirt. What's up, my brother? Ghost Girl's here. What's up, Ghost Girl? Henry, Denny. Look at this, man. I don't know who Robert is, but hi, Robert. Mary Newberg's here. What's up, Mary? Wow, look at all our friends. We love you. Welcome to the world. Excellent. Remember, guys, up in Maine, there's a big party happening this weekend with whiskey and Bigfoot. Woohoo!
That's right.
Last night, Jim, we're about to get down and crazy.
Oh, I'd love to do a Bigfoot call. Hey, Rich, want to make $100? Let's go.
Oh my God, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you have a chance to. Yeah, you have a chance to win $100 through the contest. So,
Kurt W. Look at Kurt W's here.
Yeah. So, some of the names you may not recognize are probably ones that normally jump on.
Yeah. Hey, Bruce Davis.
Yeah, we got like Robert Dubin. Yeah, he's normally one of our regulars.
Yeah, spread the love, everybody. Let's go. See, this is what I like, man. This is what Wojo and I talk about, was that building a community that understands each other, works together, and doesn't. And you brought it up on our show as well. And research, and in a nice way. You know what I mean? Rather than go, hey, I didn't find it. That's got to be fake. You know what I mean? Because that's like the whole research world sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are we doing, man? We're not going to get anywhere with that garbage attitude. You know what I mean? So that the people that I'm seeing on the right, man, I just love them. They hang out with us all the time. You know what I mean? So, and maybe Dave and Melissa will too as we go forward. We'll see how it goes. Melissa don't like you. We got to bring you back up to level.
Podcast so far.
What's that? I'm sorry, sir.
I said we watched some of the podcasts and everything you've done so far. I enjoy them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Appreciate it. It's even better when I knock Wojo off the stage and it's just me, right? Isn't that
great? You don't dare to talk off with my hat on.
You cowboy. Shut up, cowboy.
Why does Wojo look like Kung Fu Panda?
Someone had to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, get on
it's a good look, Wojo. It's a good look. I like that.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna make stuffed animals like that and put them on a merch store. Kung Fu Wojo.
Yeah,
there you go.
Wow.
We'll put a big Panda belly on you. All right.
The rain just rolls right off.
The rain just rolls right off. Melissa's over here worried about the
Wow.
rain rolling off your head.
Oh my God.
The rain just rolls off.
Yeah, the rain is there. Oh, Brian,
We
this
should have
hat
a-
fits.
Hey, we should have a segment called Melissa's Corner. The
Yeah.
rain just rolls off his head.
Yeah.
That's where she was, bro. Yeah, that's what she was thinking about.
Actually, when I was a kid, you know the Cabbage Patch dolls?
Yeah.
Well, there was a version that also came out of Asian dolls. And I got a little boy doll, and he had a hat just like that came with him, with a little birth certificate, passport. And
Wow. And those are big bucks nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they still a bunch of I see D in here. Everybody be on your best behavior, D.
Who? Patrick Doyle's here.
Oh, wait, it's not my show. One of my moderators for our live events, and as soon as you say one wrong word, you get boom, you're gone into space. I think it would be great. We'd make a Cabbage Patch.
Oh, Robert Dean Wojo. Here in Metro Detroit, we have a well-known sports writer with the nickname Wojo. Well, he stole my name. That's it. I want his real name. I'm going to make a phone call. Copyright.
Hey, no, relax. Your name's the Wojo. Stop.
Yeah, that's true. I am the.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I just saved your life, bro.
Yeah.
Wait,
But hey, he's a great sports writer. I'm a huge sportsman.
Where did our host's head go?
He's. I think he's behind the woods. Oh.
Ah!
We're frozen.
Stop
No,
doing
I'm
that.
sorry. I was being disturbed. I had people coming in the garage here. So
Yeah, we're frozen right now. Me and David, we're
yeah.
frozen.
Oh, but I'm going to tell you, you both look great. You don't have any awkward face right now. David's just sitting back like, this is a bunch of bullshit with these two clowns, right? And Melissa's like, wonder when the rain's going to come. But you look great, because a lot of times when I freeze up, I have one of those weird like faces. You know what I mean? Always.
Yeah, I've never froze up before.
Oh, that's
well, that's weird because I mean we hear you. You guys are coming through very loud and clear though.
Yeah, it just looks like a still photo of you guys. So let's get on with the show. Welcome everybody. This is a picture of Dave and Melissa.
Yeah, we'll put yeah, see, there we go.
Good grief.
Got you on the solo.
Well, Joe, I think we're a bad influence.
I've been frozen before, but I was like, what was I upside down, Rich? You're like, what?
Oh yeah. When you
I look like I'm already trying to go to sleep.
Talking about Frozen, somebody in the live chat mentioned something about about a frozen Bigfoot.
Where? I see Tim Vogel.
Let me see. I'm scrolling back through to see if I can find it here.
D-Hoot, say it again, and I'm gonna have you kicked out.
Hold on.
Oh, Michelle Wilfong. Hi, Michelle Wilfong.
Go back out and try to log back in.
Yeah, I would try. If you just even leave the studio.
I'm gonna try that.
Pop back on. Yeah, hurry up, because
Yeah.
we're gonna miss you. Don't leave me alone here with these two yahoos. Please hurry.
Yeah, because there's a question on here. I'll wait till they come back because there's a question on here about somebody's asking about Virginia. So we can talk about Virginia here in a little bit.
Yeah, that would be their you guys' expertise, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys for who the one that just asked that, I mean, what exactly or what specifically were you wanting to know about Virginia? That will kind of help us.
Well, D-Hoot says, tell us about Virginia.
There we go.
Hey! Welcome back. I like this much better. I'm further away from Mojo.
I know. You have to break us apart.
David, David and Melissa, while you guys were in and out there, what can we tell people about Virginia? They're asking, what could they tell? What could we tell them about Virginia? I mean, besides
we are
it's a beautiful
completely
state,
surrounded by the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Oh,
Yep, Shenandoah Valley, along the Interstate 81 corridor, I-81 corridor.
So is that west, central, or east for us?
It's northwest, pretty much.
So
western part of Virginia.
Gotcha.
Northwest. That's where Rockingham County is where we're located at in Virginia.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I think I know that from like Live PD or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Were there any
You got the Blue Ridge
specific
Mountains, and just to the west of us, we have the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, you got both
Yeah.
sets, and I love the Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge is gorgeous. I love driving through there. The strangest thing for me
Absolutely.
is when I looked up and saw cattle on the side of the mountain. So what the
Oh,
hell?
they're everywhere.
Well, they look like they were gonna fall. Are you guys all right up there? You know what I mean? They were like all leaning over my car. I'm like, hey.
that and a lot of poultry houses? They do a lot of poultry, turkey and chickens there too.
Oh, I bet there's all kinds of things.
Yeah,
All
huge
kinds.
poultry producing county.
Yeah, Daniel, you better get hurrying up and asking them questions, bro, because the interviewer and me's coming out. I need to know things. like,
Ask your questions. You talking about the ones on the chat?
no, your guests, your other guests, David and Melissa. Like I get to thinking when I start hearing, people from other areas and stuff and talking Bigfoot and paranormal, apparently all cryptids. I mean, I'm curious to know. You know what I mean? Like how does one walk out the door in Northwest Virginia and become boom cryptid and paranormal? Is it from an experience? Is it from what I mean? Like how we watched something the other day. Who was it, Wojo, that walked out in their backyard? Oh, Paul Frazier out of Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, I basically live in the woods. So he opens his door, he walks out, and he's in the woods, and he's bound to run in or hear something in that way, right? Yep. So and that's same with me. When I went out my backyard, I had 3 acres of land, and I had an experience, like many years of experiences with Bigfoot. So like how do you guys get into that? Like how in Virginia, like how is it? You know what I mean? You go out, you just found Bigfoot one day, or cryptids, or ghosts?
Well, as far as our background is, we met Daniel about 5 or 6 years ago, and back up a little bit further than that. We both have had paranormal activity as kids growing up, as well as in the house we currently live in. But those are long stories. It's nothing extravagant, but we've had things you can't explain. I'm just going to put it that way.
Yep.
I've always been interested in the paranormal and Bigfoot. I always watched shows and stuff growing up and whatnot. And after I retired from my 2 careers, retired Army, then I retired from the sheriff's office here back in 2018. Now we have more time to get out and about. We met Daniel shortly thereafter, and he told us about what he was about. Met him at the mall, had his little booth set up, and he invited us on one of his campouts, and we've been part of the group ever since. We have not had a sighting yet, to be frank about it, as far as Bigfoot or any other kind of cryptid that people talk about. But now we have heard things that we can't explain. Melissa had an experience a couple of years ago out at Elkhorn Lake. Our research area here, if Dan hadn't told you, encompasses the George Washington National Forest and Jefferson National Forest. Both of them combined a little over 80,000 acres, which comes up to 2,800 square miles, something like that. So it's a pretty large area. But anyway, we've heard things, and she's felt something that we really can't explain at this point in time. My mindset, I've got to be practical about everything. With my 2 careers, all 40 years was in law enforcement. I want to know answers to things. We are not ones to go out and Daniel and the group we're with. Every sound you hear is a Bigfoot. Everything smells a Bigfoot, or whatever the case may be. If we see something, we work it backwards to try to find answers for it. And many times we walk away with an answer, and sometimes we walk away with more questions.
Yep.
The last camp out, I will say this, the last camp out this past May that we went on, a couple of things happened. Drew, he's from Richmond. He comes to camp with us a lot. He'll drive in from Richmond, about an hour and a half away from us, and camp with us. He had an experience one night, couldn't explain 2 entities or 2 things that he'd seen out in the field where we left him at without a radio. That's another story within itself.
Oh, yeah.
Never good.
Yeah. Well, let me back up from that just 1 second. Last fall, a couple from Pennsylvania came down to camp with us, and where we showed them the gate to park at, to walk from there to about maybe a mile to the lake. You have to walk here. You can't drive up to it. They had an encounter that she thought was the bear running across the road. Well, when they got back from the walk, me and Melissa was talking to him and asking him, when you seen her come off the bank and run across the road down into the ravine going towards the stream bed was on all fours or two legs. She said 2 legs. And then I looked at Melissa and I looked at her husband, Craig, and I said, if it was running, that does not sound like a bear to me. And at that time, estimated distance from what she was showing from where they parked, you're looking at about maybe 35 or 40 yards. But she wasn't well versed on a lot of wildlife. I guess it's pretty much from the city. You could just see the blood drain from her face at that point because she could not come to grips with what she may have actually seen as far as that part. Now, from there, let's come up to May. Drew had his encounter one night and ran back to camp. As a matter of fact, this guy was so paranoid from what he's seen. We may have wildcats around here as far as cougars or mountain lions, but we do have bobcat, we got bear, we got your coyotes, we got your normal wildlife and stuff like that. He could not identify anything. He could not identify anything as far as the animals that are known. But he ran back to camp. This is about maybe our 4th night in, I think, Daniel, that we were camping when we went out, took the other 2 people that were new, Tara and Pete. Took him out in the woods, yeah. And,
yeah.
He ended up, he had his tent set up maybe 75 to 100 yards from camp because he liked to camp away from everybody. He was
for the record, he does that all the time. Every time he camps with us, he always got to be the oddball. I just want to throw that in there real quick.
But when he had his encounter, when we got back from the walk, I had to help him carry his tent from where he was to bring it into our campsite. He was that paranoid. He could not explain what he'd seen.
Yeah.
But now that night he had that. When he was having that experience, we were up at the gate where the couple came down from Pennsylvania Park that had their encounter last fall. We were showing Tara and Pete around in that area. And Melissa came over the radio that Drew had reported seeing 2 entities, and she'd seen his flashlight be bopping down through the woods as he was running back to camp. And so at that point, we broke away from what we were doing and started back to camp. We got about halfway back to camp and probably within 200 yards of where Drew had his encounter about 20 to 30 minutes earlier, because that's a pretty good walk, because we walked from camp to the gate. We didn't actually drive to the gate. With most of it, I usually walk with my dog Luna in the dark, and because I just don't want a lot of lights around for the most of the time that we're out there. But as I was walking ahead of everybody, I seen this ball of light, probably about maybe 6 inches in diameter. Now, I've never seen lights in the woods. It wasn't up in the air. It wasn't in the sky. It wasn't off in the distance. When I looked over to my left, I seen this spherical ball of light, a real sharp ball of light. Wasn't reflecting any light like a flashlight in the woods. And it moved just a little bit, but pretty much stationary the entire time. And I observed it when I seen this for about maybe 2 seconds. Then I got Daniel's attention. Then Daniel looked over, and maybe 1 or 2 seconds after he looked over, it flared up a little bit and went out. I can't tell you what that was. I had my thermal. Daniel had a thermal. We got our thermals out. Checked the area because it was about maybe no more than 4 foot off the ground and no more than 40 yards away from us. And I got on the radio. I called Melissa just to make sure no vehicles was traveling down the gravel road where we were camped at. There were no vehicles in there. As a matter of fact, I think we were the only ones out in the entire area camping that night because it's a primitive area. It's not a campsite where people pay to go, or you got 30 trailers, side by side, a lot of families and stuff. It's a primitive camp area. And nothing was going on around the campsite, so we was able to rule that out. Thermal ruled out any body heat, no deer, no nothing. Of course, deer's not going to put off that kind of light. And if it was somebody with a flashlight especially, you'd have seen the beam from the light. It would have come through the woods, and you'd be able to tell it's a flashlight. And probably lit us up because it looked like it would have been pointing right at us. But everything was dark except for when you seen that spherical light. Now, we had a little bit of ambient light coming through the tree lines, okay, to where it wasn't totally pitch black. You could see the images of the trees and the surrounding vegetation. And I can't explain I've never seen nothing like it before. no heat signatures from anything with the thermals. Uh, Danny got a brief glimpse of it. Now that's got me raising more questions. What the heck did I see? Now I know Daniel had experiences with lights in the woods up in Pennsylvania a few times he was up there. I don't know how that compared to what we've seen, but it didn't have any color to it. It was a real crisp, round light. And for just seconds, I don't know how long it was there beforehand, but just seconds from the time I seen it and Daniel seen it, it just went out.
Jesus.
I can't explain it. Now I'm wanting to get back out there some more, and we may never see nothing like that again. I don't know, but this area is known for Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sightings around here.
So I got a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you see this light, I mean, you saw it too, Daniel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what do you put it with? Do you put it with the paranormal, or do you put it with the talk of Bigfoot having the woo and the orbs and all that stuff, or just I don't know and chalk it up for unknown? And like, is there any relation? Was there a sighting right after, before? You know what I mean? Like, I know.
Well, at this particular time and moment, I mean, we could carefully, I believe, comfortably say that we could put this in the realm of the paranormal, only for the fact that a lot of paranormal activity, a lot of it's unexplained by science, so we don't know what we experience. Um, by saying considering it or relating it to paranormal, I mean we're not saying it's this or that. It's kind of like in between. It's unexplained. But I've gathered a lot of information from different people in various sources. I mean, both I and David and Melissa, we've all read up on various things. We know about the Brown Mountain Lights that's happened, here in Virginia and down in North Carolina. So there's been other sightings and other reports of information that I've actually looked up that, if you go on, there's different articles under the Reddit app, which I never really got into reading too many of them, but there's other ones that people explain or talk about seeing strange, oddball, unexplainable lights on their own property,
In Bigfoot country?
Now, as far as, what's that now?
In Bigfoot country, mainly, do you think? I mean, like when you read about these on Reddit and stuff, are you finding that they're in Bigfoot country, like where there has been sightings? Like David mentioned, there were sightings kind of around there.
Some yes, but some of them don't always. Some of them don't always give a description on location. So some of them do. There was actually a podcast, David, if you recall, there was one I shared with David about a few weeks to a month ago, where I came across it. It was about, it was, I forget the gentleman's podcast name, but he's got a big podcast channel, and he had a guest on there that used to live in Virginia. He lives up around Maryland now or something, Maryland or West Virginia. Anyway, he had it was over a 2 hour plus podcast, but he had a situation where he actually seen what he described as orbs, not just stationary lights, but moving around, floating and going across the property. And, and these orbs, as I heard somebody else say not long ago, that they were moving and going around the property, like not hitting nothing. And I feel bad for not remembering who quoted this, but it makes a lot of sense that these orbs displayed intelligence by moving away or what's the right way to say this? By not going, by going around objects and avoiding going into things,
not through them, or just it knew what it was doing. Yeah.
To them, they say that was displaying intelligence. What are these orbs? I mean, there's a number of theories and a number of beliefs out there. I'm not going to rule any of them out. I've come to the point where I have to keep an open mind. Even though I'm still objective on a lot of things, but some things almost make some sense up to a certain extent, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. But I think the research kind of brings you where it wants to take you, kind of, because I was a believer one way, and then my research kept bringing me other directions where I was like, I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to dive into the woo and all that, because I'm all about flesh and blood and all that. But then sometimes there's something else there that makes me go in that direction because I'm looking at it or I'm experiencing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of wild in that sense. But I was just curious because of that, the light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the thing about that light is just to draw that area, and I would probably say you could probably encompass maybe a quarter mile in that area. Last fall, the couple had their sighting. Could have been a possible Bigfoot run across the road. 20 to 30 minutes prior to that, Drew had his encounter of those entities in the field. And then 20 to 30 minutes later, we're coming back to get Drew's account of what happened when we've seen the light. Now, all those three incidents in that one geographical location, it's a coincidence?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Parrot asked on here, what do we think it was? I can't answer that. I don't have an answer. I've never seen nothing like it before. Now you hear everybody's stories, an orb, a portal. I mean, you get all these different theories of what it could be, but I don't think anybody really knows. So anybody's answer is a good answer as far as that until we come up with some answers.
Yeah.
Dave, what size of the orb? I mean, what size are we talking?
Roughly, when I first seen it, roughly, it could have been maybe about 6 inches circumference.
Gotcha.
Like that. Okay. It wasn't big. It did not glow. It was a crisp, spherical, pure white light when I seen it.
Wild.
And then when Daniel got his eyes on it, it did look like he described the size of maybe a volleyball or something. But
right, basketball,
expanded.
It expanded a little bit and then went.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard that stuff before. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Hey, can I give a couple of shout outs real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go ahead.
I just want to include them. My vlog, Sunny 11, what's happening, always pushing our stuff and your stuff. I see her helping out a lot with that stuff. And my buddy Graham is here. And I just saw Carlozzi came in.
Yep.
Carlozzi's in the house. What's up, Carlozzi? And Nighthawk, I'm okay with weird and unusual. Don't worry about that.
Oh yeah.
he said something about. Oh, I assume it's a he. Sorry, I didn't mean to assume. Nighthawk High Strangeness podcast channel just posted the security cam pic today. David, show him that with orbs and little people. What? What's up, Mountain Buck?
Yeah, William, I seen that today when you posted that on Facebook. Yeah, that's William.
That's what. What's up, William? How you doing? What are we talking? What are we talking? Wait, we're hearing a Bigfoot show, and I'm hearing about orbs and little people. What the hell's going on?
Maybe it all ties in together. I have
what
no
the hell's
idea.
Going on in Virginia?
We're trying to figure that out.
Are they riding the orbs? Woo-hoo, yahoo! Like, what's happening? This is amazing. Oh, look at Wojo.
Scarlet.
It's us talking.
Where'd Wojo go? What are you doing?
I'm right here.
Are you fighting with the dog again?
Oh God, yeah.
You know, we're not even on our show. We're on someone else's show. Could you have some etiquette, please?
Hold on. You want a bone?
The land.
No, now she's leaving.
Okay. What's up, Hike with Mike?
Hike with Mike. Hey, how's it going? The land of the skunk ape.
Yeah. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
Little people.
But again, with our mindset, we're not going to be jumping off of a cliff going in one direction or the other. I know we're just getting the answers. We're out there researching.
Yeah.
And you get all your naysayers out there that say it's not that. It's not. I mean, until you get off the couch, out in the woods, and spend some time to do some
preach, brother.
Keep going.
Have fun while you're doing it. Yeah, have some fun while you're doing it, but do your research. Things may happen, just like in our situation. But again, I can't see what that stuff was, but it's opened my eyes up a little bit more to keep digging.
Love it.
And going out there. I mean, we like to go out and camp in the primitive areas with like-minded people to have fun, enjoy wildlife. It's multifaceted, not just strictly research. We just encompass research into what we're doing because we all have the same mindset to get out there and try to come up with some answers or get our going.
We preach that all the time, Dave. We constantly tell everybody, just keep that open mind, keep researching, just just enjoy life because you know what, this is what, where we are at our place, down at southeastern Massachusetts, what you call a Bridgewater Triangle, which is, about 200 square miles of
chaos.
Chaos of paranormal, UFOs, cryptids, you name it, thunderbirds, giant snakes. It's just a lot of stuff. But I mean, again, you just never know of what you're going to run into if you don't put boots on the ground and just research, continue, and just have fun. But I like the way you think.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people don't want to be taken out of their norm.
Mhm.
They like life just the way they see it.
Yeah.
No ifs and buts about it. Anything from the outside coming in that's going to mess up their train of thought, living, and everything else. And if they could have seen what me and my entire family seen one night sitting at this table, when a 30-pound metal stool come flying from behind a stand-up freezer in the wall, right about maybe 5 feet from us, about 4 foot land on the ground floor behind my son Justin, and we were all sitting there that night. How do you explain that?
Melissa, how do you explain that, Melissa?
I don't know. Just like I can't explain when I had my hair pulled last year.
Did you throw the stool? Did you throw the stool at him? Tell the truth.
Nope. I wasn't even sitting anywhere near it. It was wedged in between the wall and our freezer that we had there at the time. And it just all of a sudden just up and phew.
Yeah.
That was it. Just everybody just stopped in their tracks. We were sitting down eating dinner. That's what we were doing.
Yeah. But see, I didn't have any in-house security cameras at the time, but now that we got Luna a couple of years ago, I got some. And so when we were working at the time, I was doing a little bit of part time. I even got rid of that, but we could bring it up on your phones, make sure that she wasn't tearing nothing up. She has it so far. It's been a good dog. But one night I was on the computer and I got it on. It's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's on my YouTube
Facebook
channel too.
But she was sitting here doing something at the table. She said something just pulled her hair, and I'd seen her moving around a little bit when I said, "Yeah, right." And she was dead set on finding out.
He did not believe me.
The next morning, she was going to pull that video. I said, "She ain't touching my camera. That woman is not going to touch my cameras." Okay. So I pulled the SD card out of it, I put it in the computer and downloaded the footage, and I'd be daggone when she was sitting there. First, you seen this little, it looked like there wasn't no bugs flying around in the house because that would have been picked up by the lights and everything. And this was at nighttime. So a light about maybe the size of a quarter or less was right about here.
And it entered right here.
And when it disappeared on this side of her hair came up like this.
Woo! Oh, nice.
Straight up and down.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that you see that a lot in paranormal film where something enters and jumps, and you can actually. I did paranormal for 10 years with my family. So I've researched many times, and we've had many, many experiences. And it all started when I was 7 or 8 years old. There was a lady standing in my bedroom, and for 3 nights she just stood in the same spot, and I kept running through her to my mother's room. The third night she was closer every night. The third night she was sitting on my mattress, rubbing my hair, telling me everything's going to be okay, Richard. And I just ran, and I told my mom. My mom goes, "All right, describe her." Like, all right, we're kind of done with your little kid shit, And I'm like, well, she's got a little bun in her hair. She's in black. She has this like ruffly thing on and a pin, and she limps, Mama. She limps. And I remember this being wicked animated. And my mom and dad were divorced, and she ran for the phone as fast as she could to call my father. And unfortunately, we don't have the technology then that we do now. So all the excitement was over by the time she dialed the damn number. I'm like, all right, because now we just hit a button. Back then it was like, brrr, brrr. And I'm like, come on, get him on the phone, like something happened.
Rotary phones.
And she says, Richie just described your mother to a T to me, who died when he was 13, right down to her limp and what she was buried in. Wow. And I remember that's all. And when I was a little kid, that little phrase right there, it was so vivid. It's so clear, even now as a 54-year-old grown man, that it just blew my mind. And I forever have had a connection with my grandmother where I've been gifted her rocking chair from a second cousin. I've been gifted a Bible from like my father's cousin's uncle's roommate, with her writings in it. You know what I mean? For some reason, these articles, of her items keep finding me. And to the point where my 5-year-old son his middle name is her maiden name, Brooks Walker. So it was pretty wild. So that set everything off for me paranormally and opened my mind to Bigfoot. And that was okay. I didn't go looking for Bigfoot. My story was I owned 3 acres of land in the Bridgewater Triangle, and I heard walking around and trees breaking and snapping and everything else out back. And I went out there to kind of look and listen. And it just kind of kept happening for for like a year and a half, 2 years. I didn't think much of it. I was like, huh. But my land bottlenecks, and it would make my mind turn when I went in the house. I would go in the house and be like, yeah, but how would they get in there? There's a river out there blocking that way. There's a neighborhood blocking that. Maybe it's one of the kids from that street. And I'm thinking, I'd go through all these rational thoughts. And then it happened to me in pitch dark around 10:30 at night, where something was walking around, breaking trees, snapping trees, and I could hear the footfall, but there was no headlamps or flashlights. And I was like, oh shit. So I went inside, and I remember I was up to like 3 a.m. going, what the hell could be out there without a light? it just wasn't computing, because the rational part of me was fighting, like kind of what you're talking about, like you don't you don't get all grandiose with your theories on that orb. I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm curious, I don't know, but that's what happened to me, and the rational side of your brain takes over, and then I started having more and more
This
experiences.
August 30th, the legends come alive in Glenburn, Maine. It's the Sasquatch calling contest and rum tasting at Tossie's checkout.
Just tell me to shut up next time. It's like 30 seconds of talking. Jeez. Well, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get down at the checkout in Maine. We're going to drink some booze and talk about some Bigfoot. Back to you, Benoit.
No, that was not supposed to come up like that. I'm sorry.
Okay,
You got kicked out of the store, man.
I know, man. I guess that's karma for Wojo.
I
kicked you out.
I'm trying to remove that off the. I'm trying to remove
play it. Let everybody see it. Play it. You cut it up now, damn you, Benoit. Play it.
1492 Pushaw Road. This Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m., taste the wild with Sasquatch Sawmill Silver Rum and Pomola Golden Rum, courtesy of Arbor Distillery. Meet real Bigfoot hunters Kevin Warner and Keith Staples of the Maine Bigfoot Foundation, and see actual artifacts from Maine's Bigfoot sightings. The Sasquatch calling contest kicks off at 4 p.m., and the best call wins $100 cash. Plus, prizes, shirts, koozies, glasses, and more. 1 to 5 p.m., August 30th at Tossie's. Big fun for the whole family.
Awesome. Thank you. Hello, Elder Medicine Bear Claw, one of our favorites.
Hi.
In the whole wide world. Hi. Tansei. Let's see. Oh, Mountain Bucks is here. I think I yelled hello to Mountain Bucks. While Daniel he's trying to figure out how to get the video down. Stand by, everybody. We're doing that again? Jesus. So, Daniel, did you have any main subjects on the Bigfoot Roundtable that you wanted to talk about? Is there something you wanted to kind of go after? Or?
Well, there's a couple random things we'll get into, but I do want to make mention, as David brought up about what we witnessed there during our last camp out, and how I witnessed and experienced some strange lights. And I believe I may have mentioned or spoke of this when I was on your podcast. The lights that I witnessed and experienced up in Pennsylvania, there's no comparison to what we saw in Virginia. Because, the first set of lights looked like a bunch of flashing stars of various colors in a small cluster. The second set of lights I saw also up in Pennsylvania. Now, there was about 4 different lights, but they were stationary, and some people would describe them as orbs, but I've always been told that orbs move and float, all around. Again, these were stationary lights, but they weren't like the lights that me and David experienced down here. These lights were like a I don't know, but at the distance I saw them, might have been a little further than what me and David saw. But they were like bluish, like a blue dim round light, about the size of softballs. And they were kind of spread apart. There was 4 of them. So, but I wanted to make mention of that for those who never heard of this or me talk about this. But I just thought that was interesting. I took notes of this. I'm not saying, well, that's what these are, that's what they were, or, whatever. But also, I have to keep in mind that there's a history of Bigfoot sightings in these areas. Is there a connection? I don't know. But, like David explained and mentioned that we haven't experienced other weird things in this area. There's been Bigfoot sightings. And there's been Bigfoot sightings in his. I've learned of 2 different sightings. Well, one in particular. The other one was a trackway that was found on the outskirts of this area where we camp at. However, there was another Bigfoot sighting not far from our camp area by a group of bear hunters who keep in mind, they're bear hunters. They know what bears look like. Well, they witnessing a, dark figure standing out, peeking back and forth behind a tree. So that was years ago, but that's a report I heard from this general location. So there's Bigfoot in this area. There is a history there. I mean, if others have witnessed them, we don't know, but we only know based off of what we've learned from others or anything that we experienced from ourselves. So I
Well,
thought,
let me listen real quick. Don't get long winded with it. Tell them what happened with Elkhorn Lake to you.
oh
Scale it
yeah,
down. Scale it
yeah,
down.
absolutely.
Well, basically, everybody else was still around the campfire. I was tired, and I took Luna, and we went back to the tent to go to sleep. Well, I needed to use the bathroom before then, but I couldn't do it.
Everybody's in the camp.
Yeah, there was someone in our bathroom because we take a porta potty thing like out to use. Someone was in it, so I decided to go behind the tent and relieve myself there at the window area, the zipped window to our tent next to my cot, my sleeping cot.
Pete,
What?
go ahead.
But I had went to sleep, and Luna did too. I was so tired I didn't even hear him when he came into the tent later on. But I got woke up early in the morning. The first time it was probably around 3 a.m. I heard what sound like coyotes or something, or whoops or something off in the distance. And I thought, oh, that's nice. And I rolled over and went back to sleep. When I went to sleep, I'd had my cell phone underneath my pillow. But then around 5:30 in the morning, I got woke up again by the sounds of it. Sound like several, at least three creatures unknown. I don't know what they were. I never seen them, but they were outside my windowed zip tent area, and they started getting really loud. They were like, it was like they were talking over each other. They started whooping. Um, that's how it sounds like. There was three of them, and the whoops just got louder and louder. I tried to wake David up. I tried to grab my cell phone so I could try to record it, but I couldn't. Um, Luna, she had also woke up. She heard the sounds too. She was reacting to them too, but she was still a pup at the time. And she just,
She stayed quiet.
yeah, she stayed absolutely quiet. She just kept looking towards the window, towards where the sounds was. And she kept looking at me. And I could not get David awake. So I got the bright idea that while I
Hey,
was still
man.
on the cot, that I would unzip the window just a little bit to make the sound come in a little more so it would wake him up. And the minute I did that, it went silent, and you could hear those little creatures just running through the woods to get away.
Damn.
It was almost like they were a bunch of kids that got caught in a cookie jar with their hands in a cookie jar. They The sound of their voices, it sounded like they were probably about 3 feet up off the ground, um, head flush with my head as I was on my cot. And I looked around after we woke up. I tried to look around, but by then I was starting to feel sick. I was feeling nauseated. I had a really bad headache. I was lightheaded and dizzy, and I couldn't understand that part. I did go out to the other campers because everybody was starting to wake up and gather out to get their coffee and stuff, and no one else heard it. I was the only one, me and Luna were the only ones that experienced that night. I don't know what it was, but the sounds, I can't get them out of my head. I have been all over the internet trying to listen to different vocals, and I cannot hear that sound.
And the way she
And
felt for a good while after that, there's a lot of people saying she may have been hit with that infrasound. Possibility.
yeah, I've never experienced that before. That was very strange. The headache I had for probably 3 days after that. And the lightheaded and dizziness went away after about 6 to 8 hours. Um, but I was just drained of energy. I think I remember I went and laid back down after we ate because there wasn't really anything planned at that time. But I was just, it drained me. I don't even, I can't make sense of it.
Has there any of you experienced what they call infrasound?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
yeah. We actually believe we have it on recording.
Good.
Yeah, we actually believe we have the low hum on record, and we believe we have the high pitch on record, which sounds more like a digitized type sound. Because I heard it with my own ears, and then we played it back, and then other people that time heard it as a low frequency. But I said, no, I heard a high pitch like a. Remember that old kind of radio sound, you know?
Yeah.
And we got that on recording. And then we were all standing in a circle one time in our research area, kind of going over the events of the far side, the Farley, we call it, and talking. And it was getting near dusk, I believe, right, Woj? Was that near dusk with Lisa and them?
Yeah,
And
it was dark out. Yeah.
yeah, and all of a sudden, I know what I heard, but for me, it was like a boom, and it was traveling physically through the woods, boom, like it hit me. How's that? Best way to explain it. It hit me, and then we're in the circle, and everybody's heads came up, and all our eyes kind of met each other, like. So I knew we all experienced it with natural reaction, and it was on YouTube Live because we're always on YouTube Live in the woods. So you could see all of us kind of. Did you feel that? And Lisa's like, "Dude, did you hear that? Did you feel that?" It
Yeah.
went right through me, and we all said the same thing. And also, I believe what you experienced, Melissa, was being zapped. I've been zapped twice. These are the things that I didn't quite buy into until I lived through them. And the first time I was like, nah, I'm not feeling good. I couldn't work. I couldn't do nothing. I went to the doctors and got blood work. I was absolutely paranoid, freaked out. And even Wojo got worried about me. And on day 3, he started calling around to all the Bigfoot people, asking them about it. And then, so I guess someone came up with zapped. And then he looked up the symptoms. He's like, dude, you're having all these symptoms. And then it was like 3.5 to 4 days, like I always say, boom, snapped out of it. Boom, you ready to go Bigfooting, bro? And it was after an experience that they were one of them was crashing. We believe it was one of them crashing through the woods at about 60 feet away from us, and I could see the style of running and the black of the back a little bit through the trees, and then boom, lo and behold, I was in bed for 3 to 4 days, and then we went over to my property to research, and it happened again, almost same distance, crashing through the woods, the whole 9 yards. I get through the investigation. I feel fine. And boom, 3 to 4 days, I was in bed again. And I said, I think and now this time it was like, I believe it because it's 2 experiences almost exactly alike. I'm feeling the exact same way. I'm a sensitive. I've been to like mediumship classes and things like that. And, my whole family's been sensitive. So I know I'm open to everything. And I would be the more likely candidate to be not attacked. I don't want to call it attack because to let's call it notified. I don't look as I'm not into all the Bigfoot, big scary stuff. I'm not into all the murderous rages and stuff that people put them in movies and stuff like that to make a buck. I'm not about that. So it's hard for me to even say attacked, but I was zapped, and then the same exact symptoms happened again. 3 to 4 days, boom, popped out of bed. Same exact things, the dizziness, the nausea, I would just be walking around and feel like I had my glands would swell up with water, you know what I mean, with fluid, like I had to throw up. And I'd have to go lay down. I was so tired, man. And I'm I don't know if you noticed, I'm a high energy guy. So to have to do that was absolutely crazy. Our producer, Sam, just walked in. What's up, Sam?
What's up, Sammy?
So I can relate.
One of the questions I had about people that say they've been zapped, one of my questions is, I wonder if some people are more susceptible to it, or whoever is creating that infrasound, can they target people? I don't know. That's what I'm curious about. And also with that recording equipment, did you use a regular audio recorder, or you got some kind of specialized recorder that you cut those?
Yeah, it's called a phone. I clip my Android right on my chest.
on an Earth magnet. He walks around with it, recording while I'm on YouTube Live, so that way we can get different things throughout the woods. And his phone actually picked that up. So I mean, to answer your question, it was digital that picked it up. A digital recording picked it up because a phone.
So that raises my gives me curiosity. So the digital recorders, I like sitting out overnight when we're at camp, taking them off in the woods, and letting them run.
Yeah.
So I need to start paying more attention to that. Then, even though you may not be able to hear it, that digital recorder, like you said, has the capability of picking up the frequencies.
It does. Yeah.
On my program, I should be able to see.
Correct.
Then I can just amplify that, but I don't know if I got anything to bring that sound out unless it plays over the speakers. So I got to look into that.
Well, when you upload it from your card, like you said, you'll see the little squiggles, and I mean, really, you have to listen to the whole thing. But those squiggles lead you right to the But those ones would probably be a lot lower decibel, as opposed, you know what I mean, because it's kind of under the radar type of thing. So all I know, in other words, all our noise is here, and this guy's like here. That time I heard it loud and clear through the woods. I heard it with my own ears. And I said, "Did you hear that?" And you could hear me on the live going, "No." And they're talking about what, that low hum. And I'm like, no. It was a high pitched digital sound. And I imitated what I heard. So that's the beauty of doing YouTube Live. YouTube Live, there's no bullshit, and nothing against anybody who does anything, edit or producer. I just don't do it because I can't. I'm not savvy like that, so I'm not knocking anybody for it. But when I started watching like guys like like Petikoff and stuff, I really liked his stuff, and I would look through his phone. I'd look for structures, and all I did was use his camera as a tool to try to research without leaving my house because I was a novice. I didn't know what to do, and that's where I started. So when I got out there, I said, you know what, man? I started recording on my phone at first, and then I was like, man, everybody's gonna think I'm full of shit that just happened. And I had it on recording. And nobody's going to believe me. And I'm like, you don't really need anybody to believe you, do you? No, but we want to prove the existence and we want to help them without them getting shot, needing a body, all that bullshit. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just go YouTube Live. Let's just do it. And I brought it out there, YouTube Live. Sometimes it's grainy. Sometimes it's shitty. People complain and bitch, say I'm talking on a potato and can't really believe there's no internet in the woods. Isn't that amazing that some people haven't figured it out that we don't have the technology to get internet in the woods? Is that crazy or what? Like, drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. There's always that one person. Oh, yeah. Like,
all the stuff we can afford to take out there with trail cams and the cameras and stuff, it's not high dollar stuff. So a lot of the stuff's going to come out grainy. I mean, they're not built for it.
But you know what?
You got to work with what you have.
Right. And it's grainy and it's raw. It's unedited. And you make up, like a lot of people on the side right now, they're open. There's some of my moderators that are on the YouTube Lives. And they're like family to us. I have a loyalty to them to bring it. And people say, hey, you got a better chance of seeing Bigfoot without that phone. Well, you're damn right I do, because I've had experiences without a phone before. So, yeah, I get you. But if there's 1% chance, as Wojo says with that silly saying, you bring the phone, you get that 1% chance that it happens, we could save his life. The world will see him without having to shoot him. And that's my goal. And if I have to sit there at night and be scared out of my pants, I don't really wear pants, but that's a whole different subject. Anyways, watch the show. So that's my goal. And it's good intentions, and yes, do I have a less of a chance? Yeah, I do have a less of a chance, but it's more important to look at the bigger picture and understand that if I get that one glimpse for the world to see, that we don't have to hear about this body shit no more. Because
but we got that one caveat against us right now. It's that damn AI stuff that's up and coming and stuff like that. You can beautiful shot one and put it out there for people to see, not giving away the location. People still going to call it fake.
Well, you know what, though? It goes from a satellite right to your face. So if you're that stupid to believe that it's AI when I'm doing it from a satellite right to your face, that I can't.
Oh, you're about live.
Yeah, YouTube Live. Yeah. But no, you know what? And even if it's accidental or not, you still bring up a good point, because they're still going to bring that shit up, and there's always going to be that person. I don't need that person anyway. Yeah. I don't need them. They don't know when
it comes to AI, there's a good and evil when it comes to AI. I've played around with AI for various purposes, and I've discovered a little bit more when it comes to AI. Yeah. There's some good use with AI if you use it in a positive way. And like I'm starting to learn to use AI to do voice text or voice text to speak. Using for voiceovers on videos, little things like that. And also, I've actually used AI with all these alleged photos on social media where people are posting in these Bigfoot believer groups. That's what they're titled, Bigfoot believer groups.
I
Several of
left
them.
them all. I left them all. I can't do it.
Yeah, because you and I know well as well that there's nothing but junk and hoaxes in there and BS in there. But just to show some other people, I use AI to expose, several images from that group. It's all AI, or it's from this, or it's from a movie, or it's from this. It's amazing. AI
Or
could be used in a positive way if you learn how to use it. So
or it's misinterpreted because I know I pissed some
yeah,
people, excuse my French, but people on Facebook a few times. They'll be posting pictures on there of their trail cam catching eyes out in the woods. And there was one
yeah,
picture on there to where you see a raccoon between the camera and the wood line, and you see two little red eyes down towards the ground. The raccoon moves closer towards the camera, then the eyes are a little higher in the ground. The raccoon's moving closer, then the eyes are up there. People saying, that's a Bigfoot. He's standing up watching that raccoon. You can see his eyes come up. That's the infrared reflecting off of the raccoon's eyes as it
Yeah,
gets
we
up to the
can't.
camera.
But
I
with
tell
cameras,
people all the time, if you're going to take equipment out there, learn how that equipment works,
right?
its capabilities, its drawbacks. You're going to get a better experience that way because you got to rule stuff out. But if you don't know
yeah.
what kind of equipment you have and how it operates, and you go capture something like that, not understanding the dynamics, you're
Well,
going to
well,
misidentify a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I had one that it was a deer head. The deer head was actually upside. If you looking at the picture, you see an image and two red eyes. So if you take that image
Yeah.
and flip it around, then you can start to see the antlers. It
Yeah.
was the image of the deer reflecting back into the IR from the eyes,
Yeah.
but people thinking it was something paranormal. But again,
Exactly.
you got to know your equipment you're taking.
but Dave,
Otherwise,
what's real efficient for us is that Richie's on live. Okay, so Richie, is pretty much bringing the community together. I'm behind him listening, but I do have my phone clipped on, and sometimes that I'll have a recorder attached to me. So we have three forms of audio going on, and yet two videos going on. So
Yep.
that's good.
so if Richie's on live, and everyone, did you hear that? Most people can hear, some people can't, but at least I can go back to that same moment of
Right.
what we just heard, and I would clip it on my phone and I'd send it to Richie and send it to everybody, so that what you're seeing live and hearing live, that I can back that up,
Yep.
or the recorder can back up the audio. So
Yep.
that's why it's important.
Yeah.
Instead of just bringing one thing, you got to bring multiple things. Now, we are not savvy. My brother has a 4K camera. The only problem is he's out of action because he's got two shoulder surgeries. But going back to the infrasound, this hum, Richie was on live and he's about 20 yards away from me. But me and my brother were just sitting there, and all of a sudden you hear just like that, and it's faint. I'm looking around. I go, "Do you hear that?" He goes, "What is that?" I go, "It sounds like a hum, like it's something just out of the blue." Because you can hear that it's like a quick sucking of the air, like, and we kept listening for 2 minutes. And another moment where Richie was saying that we're all sitting around. Now Richie already heard it twice. I never heard it until the third time. Now my phone is recording. It was sitting still, and I can hear like this sound. It's like, I go, geez, I remember turning to him because he started. He goes, "Do you hear that?" I go, "It sounds like electricity." I go, "Yeah, it does sound like it's just that it's faint, but it's out there." Now, as for it can affect anybody. By the way, to answer your question from a while ago, certain people, no, it can affect anybody because I can hear it. Or if the infrasound hit, I've been zapped, but it's either a couple of things can cross my mind, either with that close, or it's just an attention thing. I mean, in mountain bucks,
What's the
tigers
sound?
do have infrasound, and elephants, giraffes. I mean, we have infrasound, but
Right.
what we're dealing with out in these woods is second to none. Okay, and what they can do is outside our realm, and the infrasound is just like unbelievable.
Was the sound isolated, or could you feel like any kind of vibration going through your body?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
curious.
Some you can. Not on all of them, but
Not on all.
Yeah, there was that one particular that I spoke of when we were standing in a circle in the middle of the woods talking about the folly, and then all of a sudden we all like it reverberated right through you. It was like in the whole body. And I remember Lisa, one of our research teammates from Boots on the Ground. She goes, did you hear that? She goes, I could feel it. It went right through me, and I was thinking the same exact thing. We were all on the same line because again on YouTube Live. Nighthawk's out to get me, man. What's going on here?
Good old William.
He ain't coming out. He's like, that dude's AI, man. Why, thank you. But yeah, it was wild. But no, the sounds and all that stuff, and I associate that not so much with the woo when it comes to Bigfoot, because like Mountain Bucks brought up that the Siberian tigers or whatever said to paralyze their prey. I don't know if it goes that far or that strong, but it has an infrasound to kind of knock you off. And that's what they're trying to do. For me, I believe, when we all stop there and go, did you hear that? Did you feel that? They're scurrying. They're moving away. And that's one of their many ways of getting out of the situation that they're in. Because we've walked right up on them, like I said, and had them crash through the woods. And there's nothing like that crashing through the woods. Nothing.
No,
there is no bear here. There is no moose here. Only thing you're going to find is a big buck. That's what you're going to find. That's probably the biggest animal in this area is a big buck. If a bear happens to come down to southeastern Massachusetts, all the locals put him on Facebook and call him Yogi. Yogi's over in Kingston today. He was in the Smith's backyard. Oh, my. Just leave Yogi alone. Just let him live. Just stop it. And then, hi, welcome to Fox 25. Yogi's over here. Like, it's a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Choppers,
10 years in the woods, I've never seen bear shit. All right, so I can't even tell you if a bear actually shits in the woods. I can't even answer the question. Sorry, folks. You know what I mean?
I mean, they got to be there in Rhode Island.
What?
Yeah. I mean, my sister who lives in Rhode Island, she sent me a set of tracks off the side of some railroad tracks.
Whereabouts?
And she's right off the top of her head, I can't think. This has been a little while. But
northeast, northwest,
probably towards the west.
That sounds about right.
Northwest Rhode Island.
Yeah,
but she sent me some tracks. She wanted my opinion. I said, when I don't remember the exact location per se, but when she showed me this, I told her, Melanie, those are bear tracks. I said, you're not far from New York, upstate New York in Canada. I said, yeah, she's on the northwestern part of Rhode Island. I said, yeah, you're not far from, New York. I said, upstate New York is borders Massachusetts and Rhode Island. I said, there's nothing but woods up there. I said, yeah.
Sorry. Look at Abba's comment. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't laughing at you. I had to cut you
off. No, you're fine.
I don't want you to think I was laughing in your face. He goes, I have some bear in my freezer. and he's talking bear meat. Sorry, I thought that was funny with what we were saying. So
bear with us.
All right, I'm done. I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Rich, you sound like you need a bear hug.
Melissa just asked me a question. I don't have an answer for, but I know what she's talking about. I've never really.
Go ahead, Melissa.
Yeah.
You're calling number 35, Melissa. Welcome to the show. Sorry. Was that out loud?
I know I've walked up to power lines with a lot of power going through, and the closer you get, you start to feel that power, the electricity.
Very strong ones, yes.
Does that correlate with infrasound that you all are describing?
Because you can hear the hum if you're under those power line towers or near them. They're on the roof lines.
So, all right.
It's a
So,
weird feeling.
yeah, for full transparency too, with the topic we're having, it. Sorry, hang on. Come here, Buffy. Say hi to everybody.
Oh.
Hi, Buffy.
Hi.
No, he's not. No, he's not my grandson. He's my son. Okay, all right. Back off.
One of the 83 kids he has.
I love you. You say hi, everybody. Do Bigfoot. Woo! I know. Do Bigfoot. Do this. Good job. You say hi.
Oh, is that the little guy that I heard on the phone with you earlier when you were getting ready for work?
Yeah, that's my shadow. Say hi, Bigfoot. Say hi, Bigfoot. I know that's you. Do you like my Bigfoot? A shadow? Yeah. Yeah. Say hi, Bigfoot. Hi, I love you. I got to do this.
That's awesome.
Okay? High five. Oh, you want to talk to Bigfoot? Yes. I love you, buddy. Here, buddy. I'll give you a Bigfoot. Come here. Here, buddy. Here's a Bigfoot. Whee! Go play with him, okay? I love you. You. You too. You can have that one. You want this one? Go ahead, Buppy. You, Buppy. Thank you. Family first, baby. Family first. They're all involved, you know. But I think Melissa brings up a good point. And for full transparency, we have a major river that runs out there, and we do have power lines. They're older wooden ones. Those particular ones you can't hear or feel it, but I have been near the big ones, which are closer to the Hockomock Swamp in the Bridgewater Triangle, and those ones you hear that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can almost feel it in some points where it makes you a little nervous, right?
You can also see where not much grows in that area either.
That's a good point. Great point. I think that's all good stuff. And it's stuff that you have to understand too. With high energy areas, you're going to have paranormal produced no matter what, because we're all energy. That's the bottom line. We're all energy. No matter what we are, our creation is energy. And that's why I'm open to Sasquatch. I feel, for me, a primitive human, closer to a primitive human, but on a higher frequency. We have psychics and mediums that have different abilities, and they're on a higher frequency generally. You know what I mean? So I'm quite open to, Sasquatch being on a higher frequency, having different abilities. And having that little bit of creature in them, perhaps where there's the infrasound and all that stuff that they can do. And they know how to use it. They know when to utilize it. And that's the key. You know what I mean? Like when we're getting too close to them, maybe we get popped with it. He's okay. Maybe we get popped with an infrasound. He did have a glass cover in his hand. So that's a good job, Mama.
Makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, no. So I think that's a great point that you make, and something that everybody should watch out for and listen for, because that can not only contribute to paranormal but debunk things as well, right?
Yeah.
So Richie, what about all right? So a little bit of context here. Before when we were walking out of the folly that we were talking about,
we're nowhere near the power lines, bro, in that incident.
Right. And we heard the hum. But before the hum, remember when we were on the main path, Rich, out of Folly, is when we heard the big loud thumps.
Right.
We heard these loud thumps, like, we're walking out of there, and we know something's there, because they gave us the boot when they threw the rocks in the water, that they probably don't want us to be around. So, excuse me. So we heard the thumping as we went further down the path. And I was further behind the group, and I hear, like, it was just like, whoa, like I looked at everybody, we all froze, like we're like this, because it like your skeleton just was shaking. It was just like that high energy that just went right through your body. Goosebumps, your hair standing up, and you're like, what the hell was that? So besides the hum, it's that energy behind it that it just blasts you. It's like basically telling you, like, hurry up and get out of the woods. That's a possible theory, like rushing us out. Yep. And also, we heard the dogs, Rich, remember? As we're almost getting out.
Oh, the dogs.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know where Daniel went. Probably to
the correlation between the two, real quick. The correlation is, in my mind, if you're going up on a power line and didn't know it was there, you're going to feel a gradually increase the closer you get. What you're describing is it's there. It happens.
Correct.
boom,
Yeah.
you hit. So
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, and we're nowhere near it. And those
Correct.
particular ones are wooden, and they're not as powerful. You know what I mean? The ones I hear the hums from are those big metal towers.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's what we have.
EVP. Have you guys? Oh, wait, I'm jumping around a little bit. What are you doing? Have you brought EVP EMF recorders and Ovilus out in the woods while Bigfooting?
No,
Not
we have
yet.
not, but that's
We've got them, but we're
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
I think we almost had an Ovilus going the other day, but Big Andy didn't charge it. Right, Big Andy, wherever you are? Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Meathead.
Yeah, I have
we don't have an Ovilus, but I got an
Yeah.
EMF
bring
meter
it.
in my box.
Yeah, I got one of those too, and I was thinking about that myself. I've only played around with mine, like just on and off, around,
bring it.
like
We
You
walk
got that
around. We
one
walk
now.
around looking for radiation. We have whatever that thing's called.
The
for
guy
radio.
account.
Yeah, Geiger counter, because one of our great guests, Richie Wojo, have been tested for EMF sensitive. Never tested. I already know, but thank you, sir. It said that a print was discovered and it had high radiation readings in it.
really.
Yeah, and they told us that, so we went and got a Geiger counter, and and some of the structures we run into, that they do it spikes up. Point 30, you're supposed to get. Point 30, you're supposed to get out of there. We walk into the college, and you have to watch our show to understand what the college is, but it's all broken, busted trees. This big circle, 200 by 200, and it's 11. Then you go up closer to trees, and it's 20, 26, 23, 22, 21.
Yep.
It's wild, man. It's wild, and that's what's. I think that's what's crazy about us. We don't care. Someone's like, "Hey, put a sock on your nose and run around the woods and see what happens." We're like, we don't. We'll do anything.
Yeah, I thought about that after seeing that light that Daniel had. I mean, we used the tools we had with the infrared and stuff. Didn't pick up no heat, nothing like that. But then after that, I remembered I had that one component in my box I always take. But now I'm going to start carrying it with us because, like you say, something happens. That's another tool to utilize to see if there are a strange reading in that given area where you had your experience.
Yeah, no,
You learn it. You live and learn.
You do.
Live and learn.
What you want, puppy? No, I think that's great. And to answer D Hoot's question, on our river, there's kayaks and canoes, possibly maybe once in a blue moon. Nothing motorized on that river.
No.
So I don't know if she's talking to us, but I answered the question anyways. Hi, Sarah Smith. How are you?
Hey, Sarah.
Let's see, Henry, that cam from Squawk.
Yeah, I mean, like Dave was saying, when we go out there, we go out there. Well, for one thing, when we do our camp outs, we're going out there to have a good time, to relax and enjoy ourselves. But when we go to explore, yeah, we're hoping that we find stuff because we are going out there to look. We want to find evidence. Now, for one thing, it would be exciting to come across something that we can't explain. And then on top of that, if we get to find something cool and experience it, we get to share it with people because that's where the filming comes in. That's why I've been filming and documenting everything, and now it's become, a series now that we're starting. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, there's a new Bigfoot show film series called Bigfoot Explorers, and it's coming. It'll be streaming soon on the Fossum Network. And if you're not familiar with Fossum, it's a free live streaming network. I shouldn't say live, but it's a free streaming network, just like any other streaming network that's out there. If you're not familiar with it, Fossum, it's like saying awesome, but add the F in front of awesome. So,
awesome.
So yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, it's an awesome network. So, yeah, our new series will be streaming on there before long, and we're waiting for probably, I don't know. Hopefully, it's gonna take too much longer, another week or two, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, Bigfoot Explorers. It's part of what we do. I film and document everything that we do, our experiences, our findings. We're raw, we're uncut, we're not scripted like Expedition Bigfoot. We're not scripted like Finding Bigfoot. We're not set out there for your entertainment. Right. It is what it is. Like it or leave it. If you want entertainment, then watch the shows on TV. It's all entertainment. But If we find something real, it's what it is. You know,
Yep.
if you don't want to watch us, watch Richie and watch Wojo out in the woods, because you know what, they're the best. We're the next best thing next to them. So.
If you can't find anything, you can't find Bigfoot, then you get to look for rocks.
There you go.
Thank you, Melissa. It was one of the. Put on the hat again. She's looking for the rain.
We look for rocks. We don't snort them.
I think she's looking for rain.
Yeah.
And she
See you,
gets
Nighthawk, William. Yeah, there it is.
I'm a rock hound. I admit it. I have a rock hound addiction.
You guys have a gifting area out there at all? Because we have a gifting chair that we put things on.
Not per se, but it's something I think would be a fun thing to do. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
I don't think it would at all. I think it.
No, not at all.
We're at the
Sorry,
point where
Rich. I have to throw this out here.
Go ahead.
Listen, think outside the box. If you don't do it, you get this. You get 0. But if you try something, you're going to get 0.01%. So you're going to get something out of it. So that's why you think outside the box. Where is everybody?
And
Why am I
Wojo.
Yes, sir.
Wojo, we can see more. We can see more of that hat if you turn your phone sideways.
I can't with you, dude.
Uh-oh.
That hat is almost reminiscent of the hat that Beetlejuice wears. And
Beetlejuice. Are you calling me Shrunken Head?
Yeah.
The girl's hot, though. I love her.
whenever he comes up out of the graveyard, he's got that hat spinning on his head.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah. It's
when he's introducing himself.
Oh, the thoughts Melissa has running through her head.
Definitely
David, you
I guess so.
David's like, send help. Now, one thing, I don't know how long you're running for, Daniel, but I just want to say to David, thank you for your service, sir. I'm 11 Bravo, Fort Bend in Georgia myself, and I appreciate you going out and doing law enforcement after. Kick ass, bro. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I did it there too as an MP in the Army. So
Yeah, we met when we were both stationed at Fort Knox.
Oh,
Kentucky.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for your service. That's outstanding. You didn't mention that
awesome.
earlier. I just have a blue cord. I was a grunt. They asked me, what would you like to be? I said, I just want to dig holes and shoot shit. They're like, all right, we got something for you right over here in Fort
we
Bend in
needed
Georgia.
guys like you to put you on point. You know that.
Yeah, you put me on point. Threw me in the clink a few times too, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little
Hey,
messy when I drank.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to respond to something in the live chat. Sarah Smith said something that she commented. She said EMF apps are not accurate. I just want to clarify. We do not use apps. We actually have EMF devices.
Yes,
So,
yes, correct.
we-
I agree
yeah.
with her. I agree with her, actually. I agree.
Yeah, I do too.
You're
Just like all those ghost apps, they're all for entertainment.
Oh, yeah, they're
So.
like, boo, my name's Roger. You're like, okay.
Oh, she's a nurse, too. Sarah, how do you cure a pain in the ass?
Get rid of it.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey.
On the ass, hey.
Oh, I feel it.
Now she hasn't confirmed, but she might be joining our next camp out too. I'm not sure yet. She don't live far from where we camp at.
Do it,
Come on,
Sarah.
Sarah. You need to join us.
Well, that's right, Sarah. Welcome to the show. Absolutely. Get out there and do
Welcome
it.
to the John Boy and Billy Show. Wrong show.
I tell you what, there's nothing like putting boots on the ground, though. You know, like I say to everybody, if something like if I kid, it would be taking a chance. Like, oh my God, nothing's going to happen today. And I tell them, if not, we go for a nice hike through Mother Nature, and we all get to be closer to the earth, and we get to take a break, and we get to laugh and have fun. You know what I mean? And talk about Bigfoot in the woods. But there's nothing like getting out in the woods, man. There's nothing like when I enter our research area, man. It's way better than stepping on the softball field, or way better when I played hockey. You know, that exciting, competitive feeling, right? It's just an amazing, amazing spiritual feeling when I go into the woods. Like
It is.
I feel chosen from the experiences that I've had to have the experiences I've had, and I don't care what anybody says. And I had somebody, you know, somebody I've known 40 years, last week, 10 days ago on Facebook. You know, and his statement was during a conversation, it's supposed to be, you know, back and forth and enjoyable, so you can get to the bottom of things. Says, you might think it exists, Richard, but it doesn't. So for me, like that right there is a full stop. and I'm done talking to you. Because there's nothing we can do. Now we can't have a friendly debate. Now we can't have anything because you've already gave your end game. You already gave your period exclamation, right? So you're not even open-minded enough to even have a conversation about it. You just want to be heard and sound smart. And that's the difference, right? We don't need to be around people that want to be heard and want to sound smart. We want to be around people that will throw something back at you, devil's advocate, in a respectful manner, and have that conversation. Because lo and behold, I've had that many times with people that were critics or skeptics or whatever the case might be, and I actually learned something by the end of that conversation. And they learned something by the end of that. Isn't that weird? If we just converse peacefully.
Oh, for sure. But Richie, it's we don't all, like everybody on here. We don't just sound smart. We are smart.
Right. That's true. I'm very smart. Very smart.
But
thank you.
I mean, add ass to the end of
that. I will not.
Smart.
No, I'm enjoying being called smart for the first time in my life. Shut up, Daniel.
Enjoy it while you can.
Yes. Can I ask again? I don't know. Are you staying on for a little bit?
Because for a few more minutes. Yeah, we'll run a few more minutes.
All right. I love the conversation. How do you have a lot of structures in your area, and how do you feel about structures? I don't know if you know, Daniel, I put up an evidence reel that you could just play if you wanted. And on our gifted chair, we put zingers and peanut butter. I don't want to be reprimanded about feeding things. It's research. I don't want to hear it. I'll do what I have to do. I'm not poisoning them. I'm not shooting them. It's a fucking
right.
Joke. Just relax. I will not excuse my French. Sorry, David.
Well, real quick, I want to respond to this comment right here. They want to know if I've ever checked out the Chestnut Ridge area, which, yes.
Man, he kicks ass.
Yeah, I mean, I spent several months up in Pennsylvania. I mean, and I've actually technically lived there for about a good 7.5, 8 months. But years ago, before that, I've actually been up there. I spent almost 2 months up there doing a lot of exploring. But up to, more recently, yes, I know all about the Chestnut Ridge area. That's actually part of the Chestnut Ridge area is where I experienced those strange lights. So yeah, I've been studying and gathering reports from various sources and individuals. I've heard a lot of, I've actually I've interviewed eyewitnesses who's actually had sightings and other strange, odd experiences along the Chestnut Ridge. So I know all about the Chestnut Ridge area. I'm very familiar with it. Actually, where I was staying and living there was actually basically part of the Chestnut Ridge area. But yeah, it is a very interesting location. It seems like that general area, that patch of that stretch of forest, all the state forest that runs up from north and south along the Chestnut Ridge area in Pennsylvania. There is definitely a travel route there. There is a pattern there. I have to agree, and I have to say there is a pattern of reports throughout that area, and not just Bigfoot. There's actually been, I can't deny. I mean, I've heard too many of them to say that it's not true, but a lot of people claim to see a lot of UFO activity throughout that general area. So yeah, Bigfoot and UFO.
I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it, man.
I wouldn't doubt it at all, man.
Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Absolutely.
So as you can see, I changed my background. If I may just jump in here. And I did that so we could kind of see what we do with the zinger rappers, right? Daniel, you can make me solo if you want. It'll be bigger. And I'll feel special, like Wojo did.
Gotcha.
So we leave these zinger, the zinger packages there, and what we do is we find, that's Bigfoot. Go bring it to Mama, please. Thank you. My son loves Bigfoot. So these are the zinger wrappers that we leave on the chair. If you notice what is unique about this, David, Melissa, do you know what is kind of unique about this zinger wrapper? Can you see it? Let me slide out of the way.
That's a big wrapper.
Yeah.
No, I haven't done any gifting, so that's new to me.
Yeah, so the zinger wrapper doesn't have any claw marks. It doesn't have any little rodent teeth marks. There's no squirrels. There's no birds. There's no pecking. There's no nothing. if you can actually see, there's an indent at the top in the blue that almost looks like a finger rip. When you or I go to the store and we buy zingers, they're kind of gross. I don't, but you pull it open, right, like this. You pull it open like that, and that's what you find, right? So that right there alone, you go, wow, look at this thing. This thing is opened with hands, right, with thumbs, right? So this is the type of research that we're trying to do. So what we ended up getting was an amazing gift, right? And I'll show you the amazing gift we got, which I had up previous to this.
Hey, Richie, could I throw something in on there on that?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I do want to point out to people, for those who are not familiar with various wildlife, I wanted to talk about raccoons real briefly. Now, we know primates, both human and non-human, we have 5 digits, 5 thumbs. 5 fingers and an opposable thumb. Mm-hmm. Now, there are several small mammals that do have opposable thumbs. Raccoons are one of them.
Correct.
Now, from my understanding and my knowledge of raccoons, and my father contested to this because he used to hunt raccoons and he's seen the destruction and the damage that they do to dogs and everything else.
Yep.
A raccoon with their bare hands could open up a tin can, get a can of soup. Not a pop-up, get a can of soup. They will open that can of soup.
Right. So
the raccoon's not going to leave a print.
No. So let me go back to that real quick. And here's the other thing is we're not worried about ego. We have people that help us. And one of the people that help us, obviously, well, a couple of people, the Vogels, they're wilderness experts. They had their own company for many years. And Tim's a guy that's he's a forest ranger in 1,300 acre forest. And we talked to that. Wildlife guy. And not only that, Wojo's brother is what do they call him?
Rehabilitative.
Yeah, a rehabber, a wildlife rehabber, right? So he's had raccoons in his house running around and things like that. But my point is this, with the eyes, see how wide it is? How wide.
Hold on, Rich, real quick. Albert Distillery, hey, good seeing you, man. Good luck.
Love the chat. Oh, yeah, Gay, good luck with your big event. And awesome job on the AI setup, by the way. I thought that was a great advertisement. I'm not sure how you got a video of Wojo wearing a hard hat, but that's interesting. Good job.
I can't believe I fit in the overalls. Never mind that.
Yeah, that was hot. But real quick, and then and your point is well taken. And we've had this discussion many times with the jars of peanut butter being open and there's no scratch marks, no nothing, right? And the jars of the peanut butter we put on pretty tight. And to have them not leave a mark while trying to spin it, I thought, that would be tough for me to take in, right? So here, this is the fingerprints now. Now, Wojo could point out what's unique about these fingerprints.
Well, how about this? How about this real quick? Everyone's
you can see that.
All right. So what? I mean, Richie asked this question. He's like, "Hey, what do you see here?" Everyone's like, "Fingerprints." Well, what about the fingerprints? Well, the fingerprints. When you look at your hands, you see how the prints kind of curl. Like a half a loop shape. Like a swirl, yes. These prints are going straight across, and that's one thing I've noticed when Richie first done this in his studio. So you get to see it closer, and if you notice, both prints, everything goes to one direction.
Straight line. Yeah. They're a straight line, and let me tell you this: you go, well, where did those fingerprints come from, right? So here you go. I'm going to show you where those fingerprints came from. And these are the gifts that we get back. Sometimes you catch them slipping, right? See that white paint on the ingredients?
Yep.
You see the white paint on the ingredients?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It came off that ingredients area, right? You can see it's clearly smudged. Mm-hmm. It's now on their fingers. And now they're playing with the zinger wrapper, getting it open or whatever they're doing. And there is the straight line fingerprints. And they have those 2 big lines right across the middle of them. I don't know if that's a hair fold or if that's their actual lines like we have in our hands. We have 1 and 2. Maybe they have double. I don't know. Interesting though, right?
That's really neat.
Isn't that
looks like on the paint, it looks like you can see some dermal ridges also.
Correct. You're right, David. Absolutely. Yep, he's right. And that's that was, we had done this 100 times. I have a whole evidence case over here with hundreds of rappers. I think 100 of that and other places. There's hundreds of rappers in here. And that's the one that somebody slipped up on. And that's why we have a friend of ours. He's a scientist, Matt Moniz, right? Matt Moniz has been all over with UFOs and things like that, right? And it might show up with Scaniverse, D-Hood. I'll try that for you. And he says, he'll say it, the way to get to science is sometimes when you don't have a body or whatever the case might be, you repeat the research, right? You repeat these experiments until you collect enough data. Once you collect enough data, then you can start going into the realm of science, different forms of science. Science just isn't, we need a body. There's other things before that actual equal to science. Am I saying this is science? Well, no, but it's at least biology because there's fingerprints right there, right?
To answer a question in chat about, let me ask it this way. Could you all have left it? Did you all wear any kind of a latex gloves or anything handling the packages?
No, yes, sometimes we don't, because what I do is I wipe it down. Okay, I even left them a bottle of water, right? Put a little flavor. So I have the cap, and when I place it on the ground, I push it down and uncap it for them, right? Gotcha. And also, whenever we collect the evidence, either we use a stick or grab it from the tip of the neck and lift it up.
We have our gloves and our paper bags, and we've done that plenty of times, and we have a lot of that stuff that's for our DNA. For this to be us with our oils in it, for one, it doesn't match the size. The fingerprints don't match because they're straight across and not swirly. It would have to be a very tight grip for a while to where you get a little sweat going, a little oil built up for that to come off. That is not what happens. It comes out and it gets placed basically like this, and it's left, and that's how we do it.
So that answers the question.
No, I think that's a great question.
That's a great question.
Absolutely. Every question should be asked 100%. And by going through that and having that conversation, now we've answered that question that someone else might have had that's not on the side.
Yeah, Perry did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a
great question, Mountain Bucks.
Yeah, we've done this so many times that we've made mistakes, and we've come back and said, "Oh shit, that might make it look like this," or we might not get the answer we want because we did that. And now we're like very precise in how we set things up. Wojo sets up the chair. There's not 2 or 3 sets of hands setting up the chair. Wojo sets up the chair. I stand back. I talk on the live. Everybody sees the chair before what it looked like and what it looks like when we walk up to it afterwards.
While you're filming it and taking pictures.
Yep, exactly. So I do still shots and everything else. So we'll have still shots of the chair when it's set up and everything. So everything's very precise now. Although it looks like
what that reminds me of? Task, conditions, and standards. Sound familiar?
Outstanding, soldier. Outstanding, soldier. 100%. I read that a few times. Yes. I think Scaniverse, D-Hoop brings up Scaniverse. I think that's a good idea. I'll try scanning it. I don't know if the reflection will bounce off it and not get the 3D. But if you guys don't have it, get it in your phone. It's called Scaniverse. One word, S-C-A-N-I, verse, Scaniverse. And if you don't have casting and things like that, you can actually pull up, you can actually scan the prints, right? And the detail of the print in the 3D scanner is absolutely astounding. It's something that, let me see. I don't know if I got one here that'll play for you. I don't know. Well, see if that'll play. That's a snow one. It's a little tougher to see, but you could see it spinning and stuff like that, and you can get a look at the 3D version of it, and it always freaking stops. It pisses me off. Is it stopped on your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you got to press play again.
Hey, Mike Tinsley. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Tinsley! But, yeah, so that's the 3D version of something like that. That's the stuff that we could, that will give you other forms of, let's see if I have another one.
It also tells you how deep that in that picture, the compressions and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, here you can almost see toes and everything in this one.
Now, with that app, do you need a internet connection for it to operate? Or
no, you don't. Nope, because I use it on my spare phone that doesn't even have phone service.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you have an iPhone or an Android?
I have an iPhone because it's way better than any Android could ever.
Oh, here we go again.
Here we go.
So, yeah. So so if you don't have casting with you, because it's hard some remote areas to bring stuff, you know what I mean? That's in my backyard. That's called the Dream Catcher. Puppy, what do you want? You want me to open it? Yes. I open it for you. Just relax. Look at the pictures.
Hey, the shizzle. How you doing?
So
Good to
that's
see
the
you.
book on the left and the Dream Catcher on the right. It was on the cover of a book. These are other ones that were in the book as well. And the book is from Christopher Noel out of Vermont, called here you go. Book the Sasquatch Structures, basically.
Yeah, I never met Christopher Noel or had any interactions, but I know of him.
Yeah.
I know he's done a book. I know he has a theory on autism and Bigfoot.
Yes, he does. And
Yes.
he's criticized greatly for it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's onto something on that.
That's
on
Florida.
That too.
That's from Florida. That's from I believe Brooke Mullen. I didn't know that was in there. Sorry, Brooke. But yeah, here's a little trackway we'll find in the wintertime. We were following it all over the place. Hundreds of footprints.
In like 3 different sizes with 3 different
Yeah, look at this. Look at this.
strides.
See how it's intertwined? You see that?
Oh, that was locked.
Yeah, that thing was locked in there.
Locked. There it is.
So I'm big on structures, and one of the things we do, we believe that there's a reason for food, for game. They make traps and things like that for deer to kind of run into and stuff like that. And markers, obviously, as we all talk about the X, don't go here. I don't necessarily believe that because I always go there and nothing's ever happened. You know what I mean? And that's a hair we got off one of the peanut butter jars that we put Vagabomb on. That hair's still to be analyzed. Pretty wild stuff.
Very cool.
Yep, that's out in North Central. I love twists and things like that because I believe the twisted tree, you got to have some kind of thumb. You know what I mean? Same thing here. That one looks older. See how old it looks? Now, the Native Americans did that to point towards water, to point towards game, to point towards places to sleep when they were out hunting, you know. And that's Elder Medicine Bear Claw comes in on that because we go to her for guidance when it comes to the Native American theories. And we even speak sometimes Native American different words and things like that when we talk to them. We call them the Satanya. We say Tansi, Oki, Aho, things like that. This is Matt giving himself up to me. I hope he's
Oh, man.
Sorry, that was completely out of line. Don't tell my mom.
I hate to interrupt, but I have to be up at 3 a.m. for work, so I got to go to bed.
3 a.m.?
Yes.
Girl, you are not human. What are you talking about?
Those are the
Somebody's
huts
gotta
that we
do it.
found. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I hope you guys decide maybe to come on our show sometime. We'd love to have you.
I'm
Same
not going
here.
anywhere. I'm retired.
But y'all have a great night. It's been great talking to y'all.
Unbelievable.
Great
Listen,
talking
thank
to you.
so much.
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
D-Shizzle, going back to your comment about autism, we're not saying that that the Bigfoot out there is autistic, but they do have autistic traits. There is a difference on that.
Yeah, I think it's still under healthy debate. I think it's a great conversation.
No, exactly. I mean, I'm just saying what we're
That's
saying.
A 360 twist. That's a 360 twist right there. 360 all the way around.
Yeah.
That's 12 feet up in the air, and it's in there like a needle and thread. Not Mother Nature. There's a dream catcher behind me. See it on the left? That's the dream catcher behind me. Sorry, Roger. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
I didn't want to just run.
We'll probably like a quick discussion and then end it. But we'll just finish watching these pictures. I mean,
they're amazing.
I mean, these are not the whirlywinds. I mean, this is just amazing, unnatural stuff that we find.
And again, we go to experts. You know, Wojo has a friend of his that works for the University of Georgia, and what he does is study tree behavior, a disease, weather patterns, and how that destroys them. There's the dream catcher broken behind me. See that? Proving that they take them down after. It's right there, man. It's broken 12 feet high on a 14-inch elm tree that snapped 12 feet high, right in the middle.
14 inches in diameter. That's huge.
Yeah, that's crazy. It was about a 40-foot tree held down with logs. So we'll send this stuff off to the guy in Georgia, his buddy, who's he works for the University of Georgia, And that's what he does. He studies trees. So he'll come back and basically scratching his head going, I have no idea what that is. So we don't, oh yeah, that one's 18 inches long, almost 18 to 19, something like that, in the frozen snow. Look at it. See the toe separation? See that? That's in my backyard. I sent that to my older kids who still live with my first wife. And I said, hey guys, this is out back. Have a good day.
What's the guy's take on the tree twist?
I believe the tree twists are exactly as the Native Americans used them. I think that a lot of them can start small and grow into different shapes. They keep them alive for a reason. That's the inside of what we believe is a hut. You can see the indent in the ground. So I believe that they're pointing towards something. And when you follow them, sometimes you'll see how they're twisted and pointed. They will point at something. But there's also areas that we believe are for educational purposes for the juveniles and the smaller ones. Look at that twist. And we believe that they're teaching them. So they're not always pointing at something when you get in these massive areas where all these trees are knocked down, debarked. That's one of the huts, we believe. See the bends in the trees?
Naturally, by the way.
Right. And there's the peanut butter job.
Yeah, one of Daniel's friends, Olaf, has one hell of a tree twist that he takes around the Bigfoot events and puts it on display on one of the tables.
Yeah, that's an interlocking X right there. You see that X that I just highlighted? That highlights? One goes in front, one goes behind the tree. The other one front, the other one behind the tree. That's not a natural occurrence. Mother Nature's not going to interlock trees like that. It's just not happening.
Yeah, you got to look at physics.
Yep, 100%. And you got to be reasonable and rational and not just yell Bigfoot at everything. But I believe what we've collected is a huge amount of circumstantial evidence. You being in the police force, I could 100% put someone away from a murder with what we have without Bigfoot looking at me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. It's got to be 95%. I mean, there's so much
of the evidence. Yep.
Yeah, I do, and I believe that with what we have, what we're showing, and this ain't even all of it. We have recordings that'll knock you off your chair, 100%, and they're going to be coming out soon. But I'm getting them confirmed by a linguist. That's the other thing. We have a linguist we go to that has already had one of our recordings and said, yes, those are words. Yes, that's a vocal coming from a set of lungs and a trachea, and they are communicating with each other. And he associated it with the tones of a person that's deaf.
Mm-hmm.
Mind blowing, right? And there's that track where you can see it a little better how separated. That was the one that was 48 inches apart, right, Woj? You can take that down.
Yeah, that was 48 inches, 56 inches, and 73 inches that we found. That was the biggest from heel to toe of a stride.
D-hoot and grave sites. What did I just say to you today, Wojo?
Yeah.
Go back.
Richie, we're going to go back.
Go back to the Murdoch next week so we could get D-Hoot to shut up. Love you, D-Hoot. You can take that down if you can figure out how to do it.
Oh, real quick, Shizzle, yes. No, we weren't talking about autistic children going into the woods with Bigfoot, but God bless you of your child. And I was a special ed teacher for over 5 years. I used to teach autistic children, the older kids.
No, listen. And Matt Moniz, again, is one that is the scientist I was referring to. He has a child autism, and we've spoken about that. And he's the one who actually brought it up on my very first podcast in December of 2023. And we had a nice roundtable like this discussion about it, about how there's traits that they have that are very similar. And I have ADD, and some days I get half of 10 things done. And other days, like he pointed out, the Shizzle pointed out, it's like an absolute superpower, man. I can get 30 things done immaculately, full OCD, absolutely kick ass, man. I'm on some great meds, is what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? So no, I can relate. I can relate with what you're saying, man. But absolutely, all the respect to you.
That's why I just want to follow that up, and
No, I didn't see it, and I agree. I'm glad you did, because I would hate for anybody to think that we're making light of that. We sure as hell are not.
Right.
So. We're serious researchers. We love what we do. We're full of passion and excitement. We're goofballs, but we have a great time in the woods, and it's just it's awesome stuff, man.
So Daniel, on the peanut butter, like what Richie said, okay, it's also, this is their land. They've been here before us. And it's like being that good neighbor, okay. We're in their area, and yes, we do lead them like gifts like food, obviously, but it's also the research part. And going back to what Richie showed you was the peanut butter jar with the piece of hair. So Tim Vogel, our friend that was just on here earlier in the chat room, I was talking to him one time. He goes, "Hey, why don't you put some Vaseline and put a coating around the peanut butter to see if you can get some the digits or possible hair." So I had a can of bag bomb, and I brought that and I smeared it all the way around, and sure as hell, that was our first result when we did that, and it's you never know what you can find, and it's research.
But the follow up, wait. But the follow up to that, if I may, real quick, is we've been kind of taken in a sense, because here's what happens: when your research evolves, they evolve to your research.
Mm-hmm.
We come back, and now the where is it? Here we go. This is what we ended up finding. You see how spotless that is?
Smooth like a baby's tushy, I'll tell you.
Like it came out of a dishwasher. And
Perfectly clean.
We don't know how they were cleaning them, because there's no water in them or anything. They started cleaning them to make sure there was no vagabond.
Yep.
You see? Look at that. Look at the difference. Right?
It's covering their tracks.
That one behind me was really clean, but we had it where they had sticks and they were picking them out. And I have one over there with a stick in it that's still quarter of the way full of peanut butter. But then now when we find them, they're like this. Well, they had no. Now what they're doing, they're leaving the wrappers on them. They're not even taking the wrappers off, and it's still spotless. So we believe that we're getting some kind of intelligence back by our actions, from our actions, right? It's absolutely crazy. Crazy.
Like Dave, if there's like an intelligence scale, a friend of ours explained this to us too, and I think he hit the nail on the head. Okay, like our intelligence scale would be like an 11. Okay, and then you have the dolphins, pretty smart. Dolphins would be like a 13, or an orca like a 13, 15. What we're dealing with out here is in the 20s, and being on this air for a year and a half, because we talk about this a lot. Like, you have to try to counteract their smarts, and they're super smart, and it's hard. And I'll tell you that. And one of the things that we just mentioned about dogs, like a pack of coyotes at 10 o'clock in the morning. Come on, it's not too often you hear coyotes in a pack, yelling or whatever, not yipping.
There's no yipping though. I don't associate. I don't associate. Right, so I know what you're bringing up is different. When we get a mile out in the woods, there's dogs that live across the field from where we park. Okay, when we get a mile out in the woods, they sound like they're 100 yards from us. So we went towards them to see what the hell was happening. Well, they stayed 100 yards from us. And then we go another 100 yards and they stay 100 yards from us. And eventually we're out led back to where we parked, and there's no dogs barking at all, nothing. And it's like a domesticated wild pack of dogs. It's not even like a coyote, like, Bigfoot is said to trigger to kind of help them. So after about 6 to 12, I don't know, I'd say they got us close to a dozen times. Let's be honest, right? And then finally I said, you know what, dude? Go to the gifting chair. I'm going to go up to where we park, because we just got sucked out of the woods again by this dog sound. And I said, we're going to change things up. So I went up there, when I was standing there talking to my live audience, and I had this flash of black go right by between two trees like this. It was like this. It was like you could see the shoulder of and the brownness, and it was like in between trees. And I said, and I'm yelling on the live, Wojo. You hear me go, oh shit. And then I'm like, Wojo, to your right. And I thought he was further away, but he was actually at the end of the trail. And I told him what happened. I think what we did was we changed up our MO, and that they're mimicking these dogs. And we got one of them, actually Sparky, that D who brought up earlier, one of our good members, he goes back and he'll leave the live and go back and roll the tape and clip it and put it in our special messenger that we have with our live friends. and you could actually see the shadow of it, a shadow. But that's all it was like for me. It was like black. It was like black, darker than nighttime black, and it was just like this. And it went from one tree to the other, and you could hear me naturally react. I was doing this, and I went, "Oh shit!" And I said, between the trees, I start yelling. But I think because we changed up our MO, the juvenile didn't know what the hell to do. He was just like, whoa, what the hell's this idiot doing? You know what I mean? but it was wild. So my point is, I guess we touched on a lot of topics, structures, mimicking, things like that. When the recordings come out that we have, all I'm going to say is this, and I know my friend D-Hood is waiting patiently for them. They have to be verified by the linguist, and they have to be presented properly, because what we believe we have is history. And when you hear the recordings, you're going to realize that they can make any sound they want. They probably could sing, Whitney Houston if they wanted to, and then switch up to Al Green. It is that profound of a range, and you'll see that when they come out, and certain people that we've given the privilege of listening to them, because we want their feedback. It's not necessarily a privilege. I say it's a privilege because it's coming from what I believe to be Bigfoot, and to us, it's a gift. You know what I mean? So you'll see that mimicking is very possible. Very possible. Any bird they want, squirrels, I don't care. You name it, they can
Owls,
do it.
everything.
They can do it. They can do it all. 100%. And we believe that these recordings prove that mimicking is possible. It's not a recording of mimicking. It's a recording of them within their family unit. And you can hear them, how they communicate. And I'm going to leave it at that.
And my last thing is,
Richie.
We're built on time. And the thing is that we're always built on time. They're not. They're out in the woods 24/7. They're out there, and that's why they're called the Watchers. They're out there, and the bottom line is that they'll sit there by the gifting chair, and you won't hear them for like almost an hour.
Yep.
That's how patient they are. They're there. They'll spend hours there.
Well, that's the beauty of the recording. It's the Jane Goodall without being there.
Yes,
we understand their traits. I had one gap. It was 21:42. Nothing, not a peep. I could hear a mosquito fart. And this big creature wasn't making a damn sound. I thought he was gone. And then I heard the zinger wrappers start to open. And I went, oh, shit, he's still there. And these recordings, we have them at the chair congregating for 4 hours. At first, I thought it was just 2. But I found more further back that when they approached. And it was right around 4 hours. They were getting comfortable and hanging around the gifting chair. And it's absolutely wild, man. And you can learn their behaviors by listening to them. You don't have to shoot them. You can understand them just by listening to them. Research kindly, research openly, do things that aren't going to hurt them. That is the only way you can be wrong in research. Other than that, like Daniel said on my show, there is no wrong way to research Bigfoot unless you're harming them, basically, trying to feed them whatever, whatever it is, and even us, we questioned what we were doing, but we went for it, and it turned out to be a good thing. So just calculate, discuss, and gather knowledge before you go out there and try gifting or researching them. But just do it respectfully, man. Respect their land, respect them.
Yeah. One thing you guys experiment with peanut butter. Like one thing, years ago, I've done the same thing. I was curious, before, I was like, okay, I back, years ago, I've always heard people say, yeah, they like peanut butter. We can use peanut butter. So I did it. I brought a jar of peanut butter out there, and I took some of it, I smeared it in the surrounding area. I placed it in one spot, I placed a jar with a cap on it. But I also put a trail camera on that whole location. About 2 weeks later, whatever it was, I went back to the location. Oh, the whole jar of peanut butter was gone. Everywhere I smeared peanut butter was wiped out. I know what he's
gonna say, dude. Go ahead.
I know. But I was going through my trail camera, and here's a bear, shown in every location where the peanut butter was smeared.
Yeah.
Last image, there's the bear. You can see it clearly in the middle of the photo of my trail camera image, with the whole jar of peanut butter in its mouth, running off.
And that's what sucks about where you're at. You have bears that do that stuff. We don't have bears here that do any of. There's no bears. There's nothing here.
Well, it's funny you say that. I mean, because I hear I hear a lot of people say that in different states. Thing is, that's how I love comparing bears to Bigfoot for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't realize. Oh, I don't see bears here. We don't have bears, but bears are almost as elusive as a Bigfoot, even though we do see them.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I used to see bears in my national forest, where my main research here all the time. I see their signs, but I don't see them as much as I used to. But the bears are there. It's just and I'm not saying any of your interaction is bears, but I'm just saying in my area, I can see the signs. I know the bear signs, and it's just like I know they're there, but I don't see them. It's just like Bigfoot. I know Bigfoot's there, but I don't see him. If that makes any sense,
Well,
In
Daniel,
our
a
So
grizzly bear will know your smell, and your smell only out of all of us. If it wants to pinpoint, they could smell you up to like 20 miles.
yeah,
yeah.
What we're
Oh yeah.
dealing with is like up to 20 miles, if not more.
in our area with
Yeah.
Barry around here, it'll be a hit and miss. But I mean, that's what's interesting about it. You're not going to know until you do it and try it.
Yeah. You got it right.
Yeah,
That's that zero
yeah.
zero and
You
zero
got to
one.
know the wildlife, what they
Yep.
can do. You're going to have interactions with them, but just being able to distinguish between the wildlife and then the evidence you're bringing forward with the
Yep.
prints
Well,
and
Yeah.
everything
You
else.
know, last time I went camping with my grandson, which we're getting ready to go tomorrow as soon as he gets home from school. I'm all packed up, ready to go.
nice.
But last time we were out there camping, I took him on some small hikes. He likes going out by the river. So I was like, all right, we're going to go hike and go out towards the river, and we're hiking along and we're coming upon a kind of a clear area we're walking through. And I noticed right off the bat, man, look at all these small ones, big ones, and even these almost boulder sized stones completely flipped up and removed out of their spot.
Mm.
Wow.
And I was pointing it out to my grandson, and I was so proud of him. I said, Caden, look. I said, you see those rocks? They're moved away. I said, what did that? He said, bears. I said, that's right. I was so proud of him. Like he knew that bears are doing that. I said, now I tried to ask him further, do you know why bears do that? He didn't know what to say, but I said, no, they're looking for food. They're looking for bugs and grubs, whatever they could eat. A lot of they do that with logs and stuff too. They'll tear open a log or roll over a log, looking for bugs and grubs. But I was
And
so proud of him when he.
one last thing about gifting, right quick. I've never done that, but one of the areas we camped with Daniel out at Elkhorn Lake a few years back, we've seen some rock stacks, but now it is heavily populated with people from time to time. Uh, but we left camp one day, and there's some rock stacks along a small creek bed, and they reset the rocks back up on it for the configuration going straight up. And everybody broke camp. We had to go back to work and stuff. And one of the guys that was camping with us went back 3 days later, and he found like a bunch of vines were taken together,
Mm.
Yeah, it looked like
interwoven,
a reef.
circle
Yep.
like a reef, placed there by the stack of rocks. Now, to me, that is strange. That's odd. I
Yep.
mean, I can't logically think of a reason why a human would do that.
Right.
Where did it come from? Who made it? I,
Hmm.
I can't wrap my head around a person. I'm
Well,
not saying it's impossible. Saying a stack of rocks, it's a communication thing. Then doing that with a bunch of vines, and then leaving it as
It's a gift for
communication.
you.
yeah. Well,
I
it's
find
funny
it.
because that the picture that he shared and showed us that I have found the exact same thing several, and I should say many miles away, but over off the parkway. David knows what I'm talking about. On the lower edge of the parkway, below the Skyline Drive, the mountains over here, several miles, probably southeast. I was hiking along through the woods where I actually found some very interesting formations and structures out there. I was walking through the woods, and all of a sudden, I'm looking at the ground, and all of a sudden, what the heck is that? I got pictures of it. Exactly what David was describing that the other gentleman that found and showed us pictures of. I have one almost looked identical and almost made out of the same type of material,
Mm.
which I thought was very odd. You know, it was around the same size. It might have been a touch bigger, maybe. I don't know. But it was out in the middle of the woods, laying on the forest floor. It was very interesting. You
I find it
know,
fascinating.
what made it? Why did it leave it there? I don't know. But it was cool, though.
No, it
Yeah,
is
I
wild.
mean, it
They've
is
done a lot
wild.
of wild. They've done a lot of wild things in our woods, and we continue to find structures. And we go after our research area pretty regularly, so we know when something's not right or something's changed.
Yeah.
We know that. You know what I mean? There's a stick out of place, and we're like, wait, that wasn't there. You know what I mean? And most of the time, we're right. You know, because we go 2 to 3 times. You know, like last week was 3 days in a row. This week we're going to do 2. Thank you. So yeah, it's pretty regular. So we know we get to you get to learn more about their behavior. I think when you just
Hmm.
frequent the same research area, and I'm privileged because
Exactly.
it's 7 minutes from my house, and we started my other house in Bridgewater where it all started. We didn't just by circumstance show up there. We had incidences across the river. So what do? We found a way to go over there across the river. We get over there, we find structures. So now we're researching that area, and then we open up the map and we go across the street and we stay along the river. There's more activity, as we call it, as we deem it. And then boom, we ended up where we are, 2.5 miles from my property. So I'm privileged to be able to just drive. You guys, a lot of people I know have to drive miles. Like hell, Red Dirt Cryptid, Brian Terrell, great researcher, great human being, open, not a gatekeeper, shares his stuff, talks to us, compares
Yep.
notes. But he drives like 4 to 6 hours away to his
Yeah.
research area. So we're lucky to be able to get out there and do what we're doing. And I think that has a good explanation for all the evidence we have because we're always there and because it's within reach. You know what I mean? So that is kind of an explanation of why we get so much as that we get as well. Because people say, "How do you get so much?" Blah, blah. I'm like, "Because we're right there, man. We'll have a bad
Consistency.
day at work." I'm like, "Dude, I'm having a shitty day at work. Meet me at the spot." Boom. You know, we head into the woods. All better.
Yeah.
Therapy.
If we could get you guys to double that travel time to come down to us, I mean, it's only double that. It's probably about between 8 and 10 hour drive for you to come down to us.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you what, man. You know, soon as I can, I absolutely will. Because for one, I don't mind driving, and for two, I'd love to see some new places with some good researchers. You know what I mean? So,
There's one,
it's only going to help.
And the
there's
way
one
Richie
last
drives will be there in 4.5.
yeah.
Oh,
There's one last point I want to bring up right quick before we all get off of here.
sure, man.
We go out to Slate Lake quite a bit. That's where we camp out at Slate Lake here. But me and Melissa go out there with Luna. We take her dog when we go hiking and stuff. I went out to pick up a couple of trail cams last month, and first time Luna's ever done this. And it was daylight. It was about maybe 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
It was about halfway between the gate and the lake. We was coming back to the truck. The forest was totally dead quiet. I mean, I'm not saying that's unusual. Sometimes it's like that. But the other day, it was totally dead quiet. And the first time Luna ever did this, as we was walking down the gravel road heading back to the truck, she stops, turned around and looked at me and whimpered twice.
ooh, yeah. It's a
Not
message.
indicating she's smelling anything. She did not pick up any scent cones. Nothing off to the left or right, front and back got her attention, but she looked at us and whimpered twice.
Yep.
And then I said, "What's wrong, girl?" Well, then she calmed down. Then we kept on walking down the road.
Yep.
She's never done that before. But I tell you what, when she done that, it made me more. Normally we just walk, okay, because we've been out there so many times. It just made me more aware and paying attention from that point until we got back to the truck.
Yep.
What did she experience? Was she trying to communicate to us that something wasn't right?
100%.
I don't
100%.
know.
I
A lot
believe
of
that.
people, a lot of people say, "Why in the hell are you taking a dog out here in the woods with you when you do research?"
Whatever, man.
Well, like you mentioned earlier, there's no right way and wrong way to do research.
How about this? Because I'm an adult, a free American, and I make my own decisions.
Exactly.
Shut it.
Exactly.
David, it goes right through me. I'll do what I want. I'm a free human being. Mind your business. If you don't agree with something, just keep it to yourself, dude. Just shut up.
Exactly. But I mean, it don't bother. I ain't got no feelings to hurt as far as that. People say what they want.
Yeah,
but
right. No,
I look at it when we go camping is when we go out and do stakeouts, that's just another tool. If we're going to go out and do stakeouts, we're not going to do it as one big group. We're going to split up. And I'll take myself and Luna, maybe one other person off in one direction, and Daniel take off in another direction.
Yep.
That way you're separate. It's just another tool. Because who's to say by me having Luna, if there is something out there, may not push it towards Daniel, or Daniel going in his direction and push it towards us. Because we know dogs hear, see, and smell better than we can.
Of course.
And when we do our stakeouts after dark, for the most part, it's just another tool to utilize. But she did that, and that just raises another question in that area. Why did she do that? She was 2 years old this past December. She's 2.5 now.
Right.
And she's a hyper dog. She's not mean. She's not aggressive. She loves people. And Dan to tell you that. But something just put her on edge. Why did she whimper? And that bothers me to this day. Could something have been in the area that she sensed to cue us to something that's not right?
Yeah, and I believe so, just because I'm not there. I'm not talking as a dog expert, a dog owner, and I had a dog that barked at something all the time, always barked at something. And this one particular time, she was going around the perimeter of the house, whimpering, crying. And lo and behold, there was a guy down the street that lived in the neighborhood that just got out of some kind of a psych ward. And he was having some mental issues, but he was in my yard running around. And the cops had a beanbag him with less lethal. And lo and behold, her whole demeanor changed. She never made that sound again, and she had never made that sound before.
Right.
So with that story you tell me, that tells me that she sensed something completely out of the ordinary because she acted completely out of the ordinary. And what a beautiful dog, dude. Hello, Luna.
She well, she doesn't have any problems growling every now and then. We've been at camp at nighttime before doing the campfire.
Look at the cheddar on that guy. Jeez, dude, look at you. That boy's got some lettuce. Look at that. Huh?
But Dave, it could be multiple things too, because either Luna's seen something, possible the infrasound that you just don't hear, and she's feeling it.
Good point.
And something that's greater than her. And it's like a typical dog with tail between the legs, and
Well, that's just it with her. She didn't act afraid with tail between her legs. But when you get to know your own dog's behavior, she wasn't looking in one specific direction.
Nope.
She wasn't smelling a scent cone. We're walking. She stopped. She turns around and whimpers twice. I spoke to her. Started walking towards her. Then she turned around and we headed back to the truck.
She was talking to you, bro.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, but again, it just grits my mind to try to figure out why would she do that. But I'm glad she did because, like I said, I was more attuned to the surroundings.
Well, that's a good point. As much as people will shit on you about doing that, she could probably save your life in the same sense.
Exactly.
So it's 100% equal. So just shut up with that. You know what I mean? It drives me nuts. It's like if you're not there and if you haven't done it, shut your mouth. You don't know. You don't know my dog. You don't know how she behaves and what she wants to do. Mind your business.
And she may never ever do it again. But I mean, it gives me something else to look at for her in her behavior aspect.
Yeah, something tells me
dogs are different.
Something tells me she's going to do it again.
Characteristics, But again, I just want to throw that out there right quick.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I think that's great, man. I love it. I think we've covered animals now too. We've covered it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's so much more we can get into on this, because my mind is flooding with things I want to talk about that branches off of everything we've already discussed. But, given the time, some of us, unlike David, we got to get up for work in the morning. But
yeah, well, David earned that shit.
I know. I get up at 4:45 in the morning. I'm ready to hang out till 3:00.
See you, Tinsley. We love you, bro.
Thanks, Tinsley.
Oh, man. I love seeing the support on the side, man. I love seeing the support on the side. Thank you, everybody, for being here. A lot of our good friends and our live family is here tonight. And I just can't thank you guys enough. And I know you watch Daniel anyways too, but it's good to see all these familiar faces out here.
You have a good fan base.
Even
The
D
pleasure
Hoot yelling.
meeting you two also. Big pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh, great meeting you guys.
Yeah, Richie, I want to thank you. I can't. Well, thing is, I can't thank you enough because ever since you promoted this, that you're going to be on here tonight with us. Yeah, I mean, I've seen more numbers go up on my end. I'm talking about subscriptions and followers. I got new friend requests. I got followers jumping up. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, thank you guys for subscribing to this channel right here and following.
Yeah.
I've actually, I got people waiting to jump on my friends list. Facebook only allows up to 5,000 people. I've been at the max for a while. I've actually knocked out a few to bring in the new, because
if they're any of
when
our
you do
people,
that, you have.
If they're any of our
What's
people,
that?
if they're any of our people, you want them. They're absolutely amazing, amazing people. And I see Chaos Theater Productions. What's up, dude? That must be Arsenal because Tinsley just left, so Tinsley allowed him to use the computer to say hi to us or something.
I know Mike. Yeah, I know Mike. He's on my friends list.
Yeah. Mike Tingsley, you called him one night with a G.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, he left. It's okay. We can talk shit about him now. No, Daniel, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. And listen, it isn't me, it's them. We're just truly, truly blessed to have people believe in our methods, believe in our research, be part of our research. They're not just believing in it. They're wearing headphones and watching on the TV with us. They're asking questions. Trust me. Look at D Hoot. She asks many questions and tells us what to do all the time. But we love her. We love her. They're family. They're family. And I hope a lot more of your people that are watching right now get over to Banter with Richie B on YouTube and hit the notify button and check us out in the woods tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're going in the woods again. We're going to go in the woods again, and we're going to put the podcast off another week because we're going in Saturday as well because night investigations are freaky. Those things are wild, dude. Wild.
Absolutely.
So please join us. Please go over to like and subscribe on Banter with Richie B, Bigfoot Banter with Richie B, and hit that notify bell and come into the woods with us. Put on your headphones, work with us, be respectful because I have moderators. One of them's D Hoot, and she will throw your ass out. She's from Texas. She's got a quick trigger. Don't mess with her. So come in and be respectful, okay?
Don't mess with Texas.
We have a great team. Sparky from Sparky's Paranormal. Get over and like and subscribe to his channel. He's another one. Like I said, he analyzes a lot of our sounds. And we don't always see eye to eye. We don't have to have people that see eye to eye. It's okay. Right. But we treat each other with respect, and then we'll get further into the research. Then we're going to learn something, whether it's what we want to hear or don't want to hear, but we're going to learn it whether we like it or not because we're treating each other with respect. So please join us, man. We have a great, great following, and they know we love them all, man. They're all. Oh, Tinsley's still here. We're busted. Ah, shit. Shut up, Kingsley. I love you, bro. Of course he comes back in. and
yes, Elder. We'll put on our farm bags too.
Yeah. We always have them. I just sometimes have mine hidden. That's all.
Yeah. Well, one thing I want to throw out there real quick too, for those who do and don't know, you guys are watching us live right now on this YouTube channel, Bigfoot Zone ECBRO. Well, a lot of my interviews that I've had recently, and even this tonight, you guys, for those who may have jumped on here late, for anybody in the future or whatever it may work out, this will be on the audio version. All this gets uploaded to my online radio program, ECBRO, Bigfoot Radio. You can find it on Spreaker or any of your favorite podcast platforms. If you're not just a YouTube fan, again, if you're a podcast listener, any of your favorite podcast platforms, you can find ECBRO Bigfoot Radio. We're part of Media Squatch Network. And before long, I know he probably doesn't want to say nothing too soon, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. But Richie, Banter with Richie B, you guys will be able to hear him and Mojo soon on your favorite podcast platform because they're coming to Media Squatch as well. So
yes, we are. Yes. Here we come, Media Squatch.
We're coming.
Thank you for that, Daniel.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. I love it.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, don't forget Arbor Distillery. Buy the Arbor. Buy the
It's Arbor.
Buy their rum.
Yeah, Poncha Dirty Arbor Yard.
The
I
Auburn
wanna check that
Distillery
out.
up in Massachusetts. Yeah, get in your car. Get in your cars.
We're still
Get up
driving
there.
around the Harvard Yard, Rich.
Yeah, it's down. What do they call it? Down. What do they call it in Maine? Down something. What is it? Down. No, not
I'm
down
not
yonder. I forget what they call it. They have a saying. I don't know. If you're from Maine, help me. But either way, that's where Auburn Distillery is. Please get up there this weekend and enjoy your Labor Day weekend up there. Have some whiskey. They got a whiskey tasting and a whiskey tasting in a Bigfoot calling contest. That's gotta be good.
Oh,
And they
that's
got
great.
they got three different types of rum. They got three different types of rum, and one of them is a Bigfoot rum called Sasquatch Sawmill Rum. It's a silver rum, so it's a clear rum. Yeah.
I know nothing about that, and you don't want me doing that. So I was
More
a complete.
for me! Yeah!
I was absolutely the one thing in life I was terrible at was drinking. I got sober in 1997, and I haven't looked back since. Thank God. Amen for that. Many blessings since. I just was horrible at it. Let's just leave it at that. David, don't look up my
Absolutely.
name.
I've been sober for 3 weeks and I'm miserable.
David,
Real quick,
David's got to run my
to,
numbers.
I failed to say this earlier because we were in the middle of discussion and conversation. That if Kurt, if you're still listening, I want to thank you. Kurt actually sent it. Yeah, he did a super chat, sent in $10 to the super chat. Thank you very much. And yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. So
he's a badass dude. He always says to me, "Where's your super chat?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's being we're moving our name, our business name. So right now it's all down." So I'm
so anyone still listening, if you want to add to the super chat, if you are watching on YouTube, it's on the bottom right hand corner. You'll see the dollar symbol, the dollar symbol. Just click on that and send in whatever you like. I appreciate it.
That's right, Jim. You can send in 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, $10. Oh, you can be better than Kurt and send in 11, and you could be the big winner tonight.
You can help Dave and Melissa get a new stool, Rich.
Yeah, they need a new stool. They broke it.
Well, you know what? Hey, thanks to my new sponsor, I could afford to buy what I need for my upcoming camp out here with me and David and the gang. Good. You know, I got some things I've been looking to get that I need. That were necessities. I was like, man, what a blessing!
What a blessing! Hey, and that's hard work. Kudos to you, man. Going to get it. You got to go get it if you want to do it, man. It gets expensive out here. People don't realize that. It's not just about equipment. It's about gas. It's about time. It's about this, it's not easy out here. And I'm just starting to open up about that more and ask, because I have a podcast crew and that we're all having meetings going, hey, you're the one who's got to kind of, and I'm like, okay. Because I hate
there's Kurt.
I hate doing it. Where is he, man? Do it, Kurt.
Yeah, there's Kurt right there. Yeah.
Kurt's my dude, man. He was Jason Kenzie was in his area, and I know Jason, so I said to Kurt, hey, go over and get a selfie with Jason for me and send it, And he's like, oh, I'm not Richie B. Wojo, and I'm like, dude, hang on a second. So I get a hold of Jason. I go, hey, you're gonna get a picture with my buddy Kurt, damn it, wearing his Banter with Richie B. merchandise. So Kurt goes there, gets a picture with Banter with Richie B. merchandise, but it's the Wojo says boom freaking shirt. I'm like, dude, he didn't set this up. I did. So he got to hang out with Jason Kenzie, and he deserves that because he supports and he's an awesome dude. He gets the big picture and he wants to help. So that's a good dude to have around, man. Kurt.
I got to meet Jason Kenzie for the first time back in June at the Pennsylvania event I was speaking at, and I mean, I've always chatted with him. We've always had conversations online, but it was the first time I got to meet him in person. So,
he's a
our new show, our new series that we're promoting and currently in production, Bigfoot Explorers, is going to the same streaming network that Jason has his series on. So that's exciting.
Nice.
No, not Tubi, Fossum.
Awesome. Over in Fossum. It's awesome with an F. F awesome.
That's right.
Wait.
Yeah, he's removing all his stuff from. Jason is removing all his stuff from Tubi because Tubi no longer pays people to have their content there, so they're going to be losing a lot of content.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's not nice, Tubi. Goodbye.
Yep. So
F awesome. Remember that. Fossum.
Yeah. So Fossum is one of the first networks in the streaming services. I mean, there'll be other platforms we'll be on, but Fossum will be the first one coming up soon.
Yep.
So be on the lookout for Bigfoot Explorers.
I downloaded that app the other day to see what it was about, see what kind of programming they had on there. For my TV and internet stuff, it worked fine. I mean, no lag, no anything, nothing like that, and looked like it had a lot of good content on there.
Yeah, they do. I've been browsing them quite a lot. They got a lot of Bigfoot stuff on there too.
And it's all free too. They make their money from all the ads on there. So download the app; it's free, and watch what you want.
Yeah, and for those who don't have a smart TV, if you can't download on your TV, you use your phone. Watch it on your phone.
Everybody has a smart TV, Daniels. What are you talking about? Who doesn't have a smart TV? David, do you have a smart TV, David?
I just bought 2 new ones.
There you go.
The old ones are smart, but not smart enough that he get too smart.
Yeah, he had low IQ television.
We got a smart TV in the living room, but I mean, I'm in my room most of the time. My bedroom, I got a 48-inch flat screen in there, but it's not. It's an older flat screen.
I bought a 58-inch for the living room, and then Melissa liked it so much, I had to go replace one in the bedroom. So I got the same one, 50-inch for the bedroom. Now it's like a big old theater to go to bed.
And David, Daniel just said he doesn't have a smart TV in his bedroom. What? Let's all just take that into a minute. Let's have a moment of silence.
I need more super chats.
Oh my God, this is great. I'm over here going, who doesn't have a smart TV? And he's like, me.
My Bigfoot radio program just got its first sponsor in forever, and so I need more of that too. So
yeah, you'll get more.
I'm sure you must go through a lot of rolls of aluminum foil, just to kind of keep everything in place.
Now watch next week, Dan. We'll receive hundreds of TVs in the mail.
Wait. Hey, Kurt W says I got a smart TV, but no internet. So how smart is that? What do you mean you have no? Oh, he just gave you his $10 and couldn't afford his internet.
Hey, I'm in the same boat, man. I got the smart TV out in the living room, but we have no internet here. So that's how it goes.
Oh my God, you guys are just killing.
When I have to upload and do, what I do when I have to upload and do all like technical edits and everything. I mean, I do a lot of the editing at home, but if I have to upload something or download something, I do it when I'm at work because I have Wi-Fi at work. Is that pitiful or what?
He's just kidding, boss. He does not do that. He doesn't do. You're not gonna be able to afford a TV ever. Keep talking like that, bro.
Hey, my boss and my supervisor, they see me on the phone all the time. They don't question me. They know because I work in the department I work in. They know I'm basically almost like my own boss. Nobody messes with me back there.
They're like, he doesn't even own a smart TV. Just leave him alone. We don't want him to ask for money. He's handicapped, basically. Is what he's saying. That's why the guy that doesn't have a smart TV went, if you don't have a smart TV, and everybody in the world went, huh?
Okay, if you have a smart TV and don't have internet, then just use your phone. There, I've rephrased that.
And then they put in the room by himself to work because he goes out looking for Bigfoot, so he has to work alone.
Yeah. I'm glad me and Kurt are in the same boat.
I don't have any telephone poles by my house and haven't gotten satellite internet yet. I'm in the woods. Oh, well, that's good, bro. At least you're in the woods. I'm not doing Starlink either. That shit's expensive. That's freaking
funny. See, we have fiber optics hooked up to the house here. In the neighborhood we live in, but 7 years ago, they installed the fiber optics, the fiber glow.
Doesn't do you any
house in the neighborhood.
Don't do you what do you
it's hooked up. It's just a matter of having it activated. That's a whole. That's a whole different
fiber
scenario.
optics been working around here for 25 years.
I mean, we have it. It's installed to the house here, but we just. It's whatever.
What am I learning tonight? That Kurt doesn't have telephone poles and you got a TV from 1973. I'm done.
Hey, we still have we still have cans with string attached to them to communicate.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. And the guy's got more.
Right here and yell in the woods. It's probably Kurt. Probably trying to make a phone call to you.
Yeah. Hey. Dude, he's got more technology going than anybody, and he has like no smart TV in his bedroom. Think of what he just said.
Some of us are still living like the Waltons.
Yeah.
Hey, operator, connect me to David Lester.
Yeah. Connect me to Kirk. Connect me to
You'll be-
Kirk. Sorry, I can't.
You'd be really screwed if
Kurt
that
don't have
call in.
internet.
Took up the old parking lot, huh?
Bye, Elder. Thank you, Elder. Hopefully see you tomorrow.
Hold on,
night.
incoming call. Please hold. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, it's me. What? Just want to go out tomorrow?
Hey, wait a minute.
Uh-oh. Tune in to Tokyo.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I think I hear David at his house.
That's just Kurt sent me another $5 of his internet money.
So, hey, Kurt, if you send me more, I could get another one of these parabolic microphones.
Not one that's Krylon painted either, like that one.
Hey, that was a $700 microphone.
That looks like a popcorn bowl.
Wonder why you got a shitty TV.
Yeah.
You got a $700 microphone.
Green.
I know.
Shizzle says Green Acres, baby.
Hey, it's a place to be. Yeah. I'm sure the listeners probably think we're a bunch of lunatics, but yeah.
Listen, we had fun, and if you missed all the Bigfoot talk, the paranormal talk, then you should have got here sooner. I thought it was a great time, man, and a great meeting David. David, again, I'll extend an invite onto the Banter Richie B podcast to you and your wife. Come on over and hang out with us some night. We'll do Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern time, U.S. time. So every Saturday, well, not every Saturday. We've gone into the woods live now the second week in a row because it's so much fun. But we have September 6th, we have Kerry Lynn Shellhorn, medium psychic, Kerry Lynn Shellhorn, amazing human being. We're going to talk some Bigfoot with her. We're going to discuss her abilities and things like that. And then on the 13th of September, we have the gentleman that owned Dark Realm TV, a platform that we're on, that you subscribe to. We have some exclusive stuff coming out with them. So they're on every Roku television all over the world, every Amazon Fire Stick all over the world, Dark Realm TV. So they'll be our guests on September 13th to sit down and talk with those guys. So make sure you and they're paranormal, they're Bigfoot, they're cryptid, they're UFO, they're everything, man. Those guys are wild. So that show is going to be absolutely lit. Make sure you get your popcorn. And I got to tell you, Kerry Lynn Shellhorn's another one. She's a squirrel on Red Bull. That's what she calls herself. Yeah. So her and I click so well together, and she's a true blessing to this earth. Trust me, you don't want to miss that show either. So definitely get over there and check that out too. But this Saturday, the podcast will be in the woods via YouTube Live. Make sure you're there. Last Sunday we had over 12,000 viewers. So you want to make sure you get it. The whole weekend, last weekend was almost 22,000 viewers.
Yep.
So, you want to make sure you get in the woods with us and check out what's happening. It's a good time. And I got to be honest with you, the trolls are the most exciting part at times. If Bigfoot ain't running around and yelling stuff, then we get the trolls. I got some pretty good comebacks. You don't want to miss them.
And make sure you have internet if you want to watch all that. Despite your smart TV, have internet.
Yeah, a really good phone plan like Kurt W. must, because he's always with us. He's like a brother, man. He's a good dude. Yeah, I'm going to get my super chat up. See, there it goes. You got to get a super chat. You ain't got a telephone pole. Settle down. No, I appreciate you, bro. You know I do, man. We talk. He's a good dude, man. I've got these people are my friends, and I haven't even shook their hands yet. You don't have to. You just don't.
Feel like you've known them for years.
Yeah, you just understand each other. You know, it's a great gift. It's one of the when I started this podcast, I lost my son in 2022. He was stillborn, and this is my therapy. This life is my therapy. I could hear him saying, "Dad, get up, get up, get up," because I was curled up in the fetal position for months, and I just could barely move, and the pain was so great. And I wasn't worried about anybody insulting me or anything. You could never hurt me like that. This is him right here. You could never hurt me like that. So you could call me what you want. You could tell me Bigfoot's fake. I am absolute 100% bulletproof. And, sometimes I might be in a snarky mood and give you a little shot back. But most of the time, you ain't touching me like that pain touched me. So I started the podcast out of passion. And I could hear him say, tell them your story, man. Tell them your story. And I come out of the Bigfoot closet, and I had friends coming up to me going, "You believe in Bigfoot? Really, dude? You all right?" Like they just thought, Rich Brault? What? They were just floored by it. And I did. So this is therapy for me. The friends on the side, the people on the side, their therapy, they help me, man. They understand. They know my story. They can relate with me. And we don't always agree, like I said. You know what I mean? So, meeting guys like Daniel, David, Melissa, everybody out here that are quality people in the Bigfoot world doing the research right, absolutely helped me get through every day. So I appreciate all of you, man.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure meeting you. Hopefully in mid-September we'll have some more stuff to report on. With a week-long campout coming up.
Ooh, week long, dude. That's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, with
Wow.
Daniel, we do a couple of week-long campouts, May and September. Go out for a week. I mean, I'll be out there a little longer. I used to go out a couple of days in advance to make sure we get a campsite before the weekend comes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a couple of days later.
I'll be up there on the 13th. I mean, I've been advertising to everybody else the 15th through the 20th, but I'll be up there at least on the 13th. So.
Can you, I'm sorry to interrupt. While you're talking, could you put up Mountain Buck's comment that he has there?
Hold on, let me go back to the comments here.
Yeah,
I'm going out that Thursday again, so I'll be out there Thursday.
You guys will be a whole entire week in the woods. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I'll be out there.
Y'all do hunts during football season? I figured y'all be hugging your Tom Brady jerseys. LOL, just kidding. Buddy, when you're a legend like Tom Brady and you built such a dynasty like the Patriots did, you don't have Tom Brady shirts, bro. I have Tom Brady underoos. I have Tom Brady pillowcases, Tom Brady bed sheets. I have Tom Brady curtains. I have a Tom Brady tattoo somewhere where I can't even show you, okay? So, let's just say this. It's a tattoo of 6 rings. Call me.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and on that note, Richie's
I got
meds have worn off. We should sign off now.
Well, I just lost how many subscribers? Not just
The same amount as I do daily. Well, welcome.
Hey guys, I do want to thank you guys so much. I want to thank all your listeners that came from your channel over to here to listen to us chit chat and shoot the shit. And it's been a lot of fun. We had a lot of great interaction tonight, and again, if anyone that came on here late, if you missed this, go back and watch again, or listen. Go on within the next 24 hours. You'll be able to listen to this on ECBR or Bigfoot Radio on any of your favorite podcast platforms. So, with that being said, we're going to call it a night. Again, some of us do got to get up early.
Been a pleasure, guys. Been a pleasure.
David, thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you so much, guys.
Get over to Banter Richie B on YouTube. Like and subscribe, and everybody keep climbing. I love you, baby Jack, and I love you, Mama. Daniel, thank you so much for your blessing of having us here tonight. Wojo, my co-host, is a kick-ass dude. I love you, brother. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, guys.